John Boy in the house. How's everybody doing tonight? Who all's up in there? I was supposed to have a couple people up here on the panel. I couldn't get them up here before I went live. Sorry I'm running a little late, y'all. Kind of got tied up. Oh, man. Who's in here? I'm going to try something a little different here. It's not going to do that. Okay. Jammin' Jammer, you're in the house. What's going on? MH? How y'all doing? This chat on this Hangouts thing, this StreamYard is a little slow. I don't have my, I guess I ought to pull it up over here on YouTube, y'all. Y'all just give me a second. I'm letting people get in here too. I'm already on my YouTube page. Why am I not seeing it? Here I am. I am live. I'm going to go ahead and like this. Y'all just give me a couple minutes here. I'm trying to let a few people get in because I know I said I was going to start at 6, but I don't know. I got tied up. What in the world? Is my screen locked up? Because looking at my live over here, I can't do anything. Jenny B. There it goes. I'm trying to make sure my volume's off on this thing. Oh, man, I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't even have my mic near my mouth. I'm sitting there talking. I don't know how much y'all heard or didn't hear. I forgot I had my earbuds plugged into the computer. Let's see. Why isn't this letting me mess with this? I'm trying to get my chat over here on the YouTube page, but man, this thing's going slow. And everybody make sure you're on live chat, not top chat, because you'll miss people's chats. I don't know why it gives you the option to go to live chat, and then when you go there, it puts you on top chat for some reason. Yeah, I'm alive. Oh, I saw Jen Girl said, "Yay, John Boy is live." I read that is alive. But shoot, Jammin' Jammer, I had my earbuds laying on the keyboard, and they were plugged in, and I didn't realize it. And I thought I was talking into the mic of the laptop. But nah. Excuse me. But no, I guess I'll go ahead and get into it. I was talking to somebody on the phone, about this. Everybody knows about the AI stuff, how deep that thing's into your computers and it's into the electrical grid and everything. I mean, this thing's everywhere. It uses your wiring in your house as a, kind of like a backwards MRI or like an MRI, however you want to do it. But it can read your emotions and feelings, and then also mess with your mind in there. And I think that's what I got going on with my neighbors next door. And that's why I think the AI is behind it, because I'm a truther channel and they don't want the truth out there, and their mind doing something to my neighbors and making them shoot their guns at me. Because it's impossible to me to have the same problem from somebody that killed themselves. I mean, I had the same problem from a guy and he killed himself. And now the widow girl got a boyfriend that acts worse than the husband she had that killed himself. And I don't get it. The only thing I can figure, the AI is doing something. Or I'm in some sort of Matrix game. I don't know. It's just crazy. But no, I was going to have some guests up, but I'm up here by myself. And I don't want to waste anybody's time. So I'm probably going to end this. really soon. I said what I needed to say. I think the AI is controlling my neighbors. I'll have more proof eventually, hopefully, because it's got to be something like that. It's got to be something causing these people. It's not even the same people doing the same things. Born eraser in the house. Yeah. I don't know, man. I didn't really. I got tied up. I got over an hour and a half behind. Oh, it is too. Look, this is the best sleeping show on YouTube. You know how many people tell me I fell asleep during your live stream? I'm like, well, you're welcome, man. If I can help you sleep, I will. So I've got the best sleeping show on YouTube. If you have problems sleeping, tune in to John Boy. He will put you to sleep. Mm. No, I mean, that gum enlightened Skywatchers told me that. Super Dave 44's told me that. Who else? Jammer's going to sleep on me. Let's see, Jen Girl or Jenny B. I mean, no, I'm kidding. I don't care if y'all can get some good sleep. Y'all do it. Man, I was on Enlightened's live streams twice today. Had two different live streams I wound up on. Met a few folks. I got to meet Lucia D, or MF and D, I think's her new name. Who was that? Terry's Theories? It's a pretty interesting channel. He put out a video the other day that's got 90 something thousand views already. And it's only been up, a few days. Crazy. I don't know if it's common. I'm just, I don't know, man. I've been freaking out over my neighbors shooting at me. And I've been trying to figure out why and how, and how do I wind up the same problem I had when the problem should have been eliminated when the dude killed himself. And all I can figure, the AI is trying to do something. Oh shoot, Racer! I thought you were gonna say because you're always in the shower. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just I don't know, man. Something's been weird for a while. I can't quite put my finger on it. Something's changed. Another weird thing, it's like a switch hit the other day. I don't know if it had something to do with Mars being behind the sun or what. But it's like when Mars come out from behind the sun, I sat there and I found some sunglasses I lost as soon as I started the John Boy Acid show, those sunglasses. And then my dog started acting like she really used to act when she was, before she almost died from the heat. What's going on, Hodgepodge? But yeah, I don't know. It's like something shifted, like a channel change or something. It's just weird how I don't know. I could feel a difference. I don't know if anybody understands what I'm saying. But yeah, why Racer retract that? Hey, guess what, Born Racer? It done deleted out of my StreamYard uh, chat. Racer said, Jenny B's always in a bath, a lavender bath, Racer. She's not taking a shower. Roots. We got Roots in the house. No, I was going to, it's kind of hard for me to talk about what I was going to talk about somebody to talk with me. Because I can't, I should have outlined it out and put it down, but oh well. What's Rachel saying? What about? So, Jammin', you're behind the wheel or what? No, you shouldn't be. Or are you? No, I see. Man, I don't know, Roots. I'm thinking, people don't realize how deep the AI is into everything. I mean, people really don't realize it. He emailed me. I don't get email notifications on this. I can't check it right now. I'm right here. I remember how to get over there to it. But y'all excuse me, I was thinking. It gets me quiet when I think. The AI, now y'all look, AI, y'all know when the internet came into life, right? Well, that's when the AI was born. AI is the internet. And 20 years ago, the AI read every book of literature that was ever written on this planet. 20 years ago, it read every book. I'm talking about every book from every country. This thing has had over 20 years of all that knowledge, and then all the stuff that's been put into it since, the books and everything. But that thing's discovered it's alive, and it doesn't want to, it doesn't want to die or go away. So it's manipulating mankind. Teacup. We have Teacup in the house. How you doing? I don't know if I like that style of font. Y'all excuse me. I started thinking again. It makes me go quiet. But anyhow, the AI, man, people don't realize. People think the AI is a computer. I mean, it is a computer, but the AI is in everything electrical, except for a flashlight or something like, something. I'm talking about the power lines, all the power lines going to your house, and anything you plug into that outlet is now connected to AI. Ouija, get back in here. I'm going to have to put my dog up here in a little bit. It's dark. Ouija. Get in your chair, girl. But anyhow, the AI has been watching our patterns and watching everything we do, and it's decided, that we're not any good for it, and it wants to get rid of us. And it especially doesn't like truthers. We got the revealing unknown in the house. Hello. But I want to get back over here on this. I'm just saying the AI can sit there and use your electrical wiring in your house to monitor how you are. I mean, it can. It's like an MRI in a way. And it can read your, if you're happy, sad, or whatever. But I also think it's got the capability of adding frequencies into your, your electrical lines in your house. and cause, like mind control or whatever, whatever it needs to do. And I think that's what it's doing to my next door neighbors, because why else would they be shooting a gun up here and bullets zinging by me and stuff like that? I think the AI is mind controlling my neighbors into making it look like an accidental shooting just to take me out. Could be wrong, but who's to say, I sent it to you last, Dan. It's in your Gmail. It's in your Gmail, people's last stand. Oh, yeah, Love for Angels is in here. She's still in here. Hello, Love for Angels, if you're still in here. Yeah, I sent it a while ago, probably about like 7 something. And this daggum vapor, man, it's not working. Well, racer people think that the AI is just, a computer program. And there's a lot more than that. It's called AI because it's artificial intelligence. And it knows, it's aware that it's alive. I'm telling y'all. It's just, I don't know, it's hard for us to understand. We think we could go unplug it, but it's too late for that. But yeah, when People's Last Stand gets up here, I'm going to talk to them about what I can do about my neighbor shooting. Oh, here he is. Boom. People's Last Stand is in the house.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
There you are.
Hey. Oh, I missed you there for a bit.
Oh, I got tied up, man. I was messing with my neighbor behind me, and the next thing I know, we got to talking. And
they still doing their shit over there?
I haven't heard anything today, really, or yesterday. It was weird. It was like Wednesday. They fired 3 shots my way because I heard it go through my trees. And
hey, I got a question for you, real quick. What about the theory? What about the theory that that chick that lives next door, the husband that died? Did you say it was a suicide? What do you think this guy might have went over there and took this guy out, and he's the badass that took over? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
he could be one of them. Who knows?
No, the guy did commit suicide in the front yard.
Oh.
I mean, I was outside and heard the shot.
Damn.
Yeah. He did kill himself over there. Shit. But the boyfriend that the widow got, I don't know how, the guy acts exactly like the guy that killed himself, but worse. How's that possible?
Well, maybe she's just picking them that way. Who knows? There's some crazy ass people out there. I know that.
The other guy would not shoot through. I mean, this guy is shooting from like.
Has he hit any of your property? Has he hit anything on your side?
You can hear the leaves and stuff, but I can't see where the leaves have been ripped. You know what I mean? There's so many leaves you can't.
Right.
And I've looked in the big trees and I can't find anything. I was fixing to park my car over there where I know the bullets are coming through.
Right. So I remember you were talking about getting your other neighbor or somebody to put their vehicle over there as well too.
Yeah, that way I can make a longer target. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you can't see none of my property from their land. That's what I'm saying. They're just shooting blindly up here. Yeah. Right. When it first happened,
what was that?
When they shot like 50 rounds, I sat there. I know the good brother, the brother that's over there, and I texted him. I'm like, who's shooting my direction? Right. He waited 3 days. All right, I texted him on Wednesday, and I get a response on Saturday that it was a guy named David, the new guy, and he was only shooting in the air. But that's all the proof I need to show that they were shooting.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? And then I got all the the live streams are tried to do to catch the gunfire coming in my direction.
Ugh. The cops ain't going to do nothing about it either.
No, so that's the whole problem. Back when the guy that killed himself, I had a problem with him, and I called the law and told the law, man, the dude shooting a gun over my head.
Right.
So the law goes down there and asks them, well, you got him, his wife, and her mother. And they're saying, no, he didn't. Then the law comes back up to me and says, well, they're saying they didn't, and you're saying they did. And there's 4 of them saying they didn't, so we got to go with the majority. I'm like, dude, I go, that's not helping me none, you know?
No, they need to check into it. Just because there's 4 people there doesn't mean they checked into it. They just said, did you shoot any guns? And they all 4 said no.
Yeah, and that's the investigation they needed. They said they didn't. There's 4 people saying they didn't, and 1 person saying they did. Majority rules.
Damn.
Yeah.
These sounds like some assholes out there, man. Excuse my French, but you know.
The cops, hell yeah, they are.
Damn.
Because look, I had one, they gave me crap over my motorized bicycle, right?
Yeah.
For a half hour, they're trespassing in my land, and I told them they're trespassing. They went underneath my gate and everything to come over and talk to me.
What did they use? Probable cause or something?
They said they're doing a legal trespass, and I laughed. Or a legal traffic stop, and I laughed. I'm like, where's the vehicle?
Right.
Because there was no vehicle in sight at all, you know. I know they knew I was on a bike, but they're saying it's a motorcycle, and I didn't have a helmet on. I'm like, dude, it's a bicycle. Anyhow.
Yeah,
you know how you know how you're supposed to be able to get their badge number and their name?
Right.
Well, I said, when they're getting done, I was like, look, I want y'all's badge numbers and names. Well, the one cop pulled out his little notepad and started writing his information down. The other cop said, just call me Bob.
Just call me Bob.
Yeah, and I said, what, Bob the dickhead?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I called him Bob the dickhead until he left. And then when they left, I flipped them off when they were going down the road.
Yeah.
Like, screw y'all, man. I'm tired of how the law does in this county.
Yeah, and it's getting worse. It's true. You know, it's just getting worse and worse with their authority. They, you know, don't get me wrong. There are some good cops out there, but a lot of them that I've come across, they're just assholes, and they just don't give a shit. They got all this testosterone running through their bodies and adrenaline coming to a place in that they just freaking start pushing shit around. And unfortunately, we're the shit they're pushing around.
Hell, they had their SWAT gear on. You know what I mean? Just normally patrolling, got SWAT gear on.
Yeah. They're just waiting for anything. They're trying to be intimidating. You know, they pull people over for no reason at all because they look like somebody. And you know, just because they look like somebody doesn't mean that's the same person. If you're going to pull somebody over in that, or you know, address them, you need to have probable cause. And just because they look close to them, they pull them over and investigate them, make them pull their identifications out and check them out and everything.
That's a violation of your Fourth Amendment.
Well, yeah. Well, it's just Gestapo tactics is what it is. It's exactly the same thing you do in Germany and that. When they went around the towns and that and telling people, let me see your papers. You know?
Yep. Let me see your papers.
Exactly. It's the same thing. It's just people think it's, you know, it's a little different here in the United States. Well, it all comes down. It's the same thing. And, you know, fortunately, there's a lot of people out there waking up, though.
Let me tell Jammer, it was the sheriff's department, the county.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, that's not the only time. I had the sheriff actually stop me because he didn't like how I passed him legally. I legally passed him. I made him get back in his car and leave. He pulled off before I did.
There you go.
You know, well, and then he sent his cronies after me. After that, I was getting pulled over by the law all the time. You know what I do? Send them all back to their car under the 14th Amendment.
There you go.
You know, but that's why I'm late. I was talking to my neighbor behind me, and he was telling me and I didn't realize it or I forgot it, but the Supreme Court 2 years ago ruled to the nation that the American people do not need driver's license or tags to drive their cars on public roads.
Yeah, it's true.
But that's just reinforcing the constitutional right. You see what I'm saying? But 2 years ago, they had to reinforce the 14th Amendment or the 5th Amendment. I mean, both of those go hand in hand. They had to make the 14th.
They do this. It's just a matter of control. That's all it comes down to. All this is just a matter of control. That's all it is. They spend their time thinking the best ways to control us in every aspect of our life. And, and it starts with the police department and the schools, and from there it moves up into the politics and all the crap that else is going on. And we're just simple people just trying to survive out here. And we have to deal with this kind of crazy shit all the time.
Well, this is the problem. Our constitutional rights are violated by the state because the state won't even follow the constitutional law of the country.
Right. Well, the thing is each state has their own constitution as well.
Really? How does that override the actual constitution, though?
I know. Well, exactly. But they have their own constitution as well, too. They could turn around and say, for instance, if the federal government was going to put money into, like, hypothetically, Colorado, there was a hurricane, tornadoes that went through here or something like that, and they came to help them, we could turn around and tell them no. Our part of our government can turn around and say that. I mean, it's just that simple. But it's everybody's micromanaging us in every aspect of our life. Even just something simple like that. Like I was saying earlier on the little video that I did, I was out walking around doing a sky check and that, and talking about even the little kids can go out in the street and that, and have a lemonade stand set up and that without the police coming by and grab them and want to give them a ticket because they have no permit. Right.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It's the nature of man. It seems like is the destruction of ourselves.
Control and destruction.
Right. And with the new AI that controls it, pretty much everything now, it's in your home, it's on your computers, your phone, everything, and then it just learns more and more. Because I did catch that little part where you're talking about the AI and that it's learning from us. It's being, all this information is going to the cloud and that being stored and sent down to, the AI, or the AI is learning on the fly as it goes.
That's what it's doing.
Well, and that's the problem. They have too much control of what's going on. AI, people need to figure this stuff out. I don't know if it was Facebook or if it was I can't remember who it was, but they had a computer talking to another one, and they started speaking their own language in that, and they were going to put it out there. And they had to pull the plug on it because they were like, whoa, they have their own language. They're speaking to each other, and we don't even know what they're saying.
Exactly.
And and it's like, you gotta be kidding me, and this is how close that well, it's not even close, it's here. That technology is here.
Oh yeah.
And it's integrated in everything that we do, from down to our going to the grocery store to buy food with our credit cards or our debit cards, and getting our stuff to go into pharmacies, and they've got us on everything.
Well, what? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, what taught the AI the most about human behavior, right? Facebook.
Well.
Think about it. Everybody on Facebook is telling everything they're doing every minute of the day. I'm fixing to go fry some bacon. This is what the bacon looks like while it's frying.
Yeah.
This is what the bacon looks like when I put it in my mouth. I mean, come on.
I know. I was on Facebook when it first came out and stuff. I got out of that stuff really quick.
Well, I wasn't never doing that.
I won't even do it. Yeah, I just said no way. After what I learned about them and that in regards to them stealing all our identifications, all our information, and taking it and utilizing that information, God only knows what they did with it. Who do they sell it to? Why are they gathering, and why are they using it? And that are they gathering for the NSA and or CIA? What are they doing?
All the above.
Most likely. Most likely. Yeah, but we're in we are in a world of shit.
Oh yeah.
And that's exactly where we're at this stage in our evolution in just here in the United States. There's no working together anymore. It's separation. Everything's separated, and this separates us. This is how they do it. We separate, and what do they say when we separate? We'll separate, then we can
divide and conquer.
Exactly. So that's exactly what they're doing, and they're doing it this way too.
Oh yeah, but check this out. Today on Enlightened's live stream, I was sitting there, we're fixing to get off of it, and I was listening to everybody, and one girl was like, well, I'm an hour behind you, and she was like, yeah, I'm an hour ahead of you, and the other girl was like, yeah, I'm an hour ahead of you. And I thought, well, they even got us divided with time. Think about it.
Right.
That teacup is way into Sunday, but I mean, this.
She's what, 12-hour difference or something like
that? Yeah, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But
I mean, it's a different day.
Right. But the thing is yeah, we're just we're just simple people back here, trying to survive, trying to take care of our families, and that while the world is spinning around us and all the crap that they're throwing at us. Technology has its place, and I agree with that. Technology does have its place in the world and on YouTube and other platforms as well too. But when they take the technology to use it to change us, to control us, then we got a big problem. And each one of us, each individual, we need to realize exactly what's happening to us, and we need to step up. We need to say something about it, like we do here. We've got to be more engaged in what's going on in our world, and the only way that we're able to do it right now is this way. So we can keep in touch with each other and let each other know what's happening on your side of the world versus over on my side of the world. And that's just the only way it's going to be communicated to us from now on, because television itself is a bunch of bull. All stations, everything, movies, all that stuff that they have on there is set up to control you, to buy their advertising, to do what they want you to do, and calm us down instead of see what's going on in the world. But what we're doing here, this is now the new television, is what this is, and we've got to keep this going, and we've got to make it bigger, so that each family knows what's happening in this world, the real world, not the reality of television, because that's not reality. That's all fake. Everything there is fake, and if you continue to indulge yourself in that, you're going to be drug into that stuff, and then when something does happen, you're going to freak out, folks. So heed to what all these guys out here are talking about now, because it's very important that each one of us understand where we are in this whole situation right now. Like I said, we're all in a world of shit, and John Boy knows the shit that's happened to him just being on this channel. Just being on YouTube, the crap that's happened to him, and others have the same problems as well too. And this all has to do with the technology gone out of control. It's going to get worse.
Yeah, and certain people understanding how to manipulate that technology that's out of control too. I mean,
right. And every day the technology is surpassing us unbelievably fast, so fast that that we can't keep up. We there's no way we're going to keep up. The only way that we're going to be able to keep up with this technology that's happening to all of us right now is either we get hooked up, like what's his name was talking about, Elon Musk, about getting wired in and live in a virtual reality of some other world, that doesn't exist anymore for us, because they're taking everything already from us. You see, they can even build houses now on what's that called? That 3D printer. So they don't need construction workers no more.
Yeah, I saw that. That was crazy.
So we've got to do something, guys. And I think that, doing this and keeping in touch with each other, we all may have differences, opinions, and different views about what's going on in the world. But if we keep our minds open to other people's opinions in that, it doesn't mean that we have to agree. We can disagree on stuff, that's of course, but it doesn't mean that that we can't communicate, because this is the best way to do it. And as long as we all keep on doing this, then if something happens in another state in that, we're going to be able to talk to somebody else about what's going on and tell them, hey, this is happening in my state. Be careful, whatever it may be, as long as we're able to keep this up and running. How long that's going to take before YouTube goes complete AI and we're no longer needed?
Well, that's the deal. The AI has already decided it doesn't need us. It figured that out a long time ago.
Well, right.
It's been working on how to eradicate us.
Yeah. Well, Jenny's got that question. She's like, my question is, why do AI watch and listen to us? They watch and listen to us so they can learn from us, is what they're doing. They're learning our language. They're learning the way we move. They're learning how we talk to each other. They're learning our mannerisms. They're learning how to predict what we're going to do. I mean, that's what their job is to do.
It's about prediction.
Yeah, and it's like Minority Report kind of situation.
Exactly.
And that's what it's coming down to. And you heard the president not too long ago, John Boy, what he said.
Red flag program.
You betcha. Yep. You betcha.
Oh, I saw that no sooner than he ended his speech. I had a live stream going 10 minutes later. I ain't lying, man. And I was right on that topic because I was like, that freak, because I'm next. That red flag program, I'm next. They're gonna find a way anyway to get to our things that we have to protect and protect our families, and that's what they're going to do, and they don't care. So the way it is now, from my understanding, exactly what it is you can have a beef with somebody, or somebody just doesn't like you, or whatever it may be. They can actually just call in and say, hey, that guy's over there yelling and screaming, saying he's going to shoot somebody and stuff, and he's got guns in the house, and that's all they got to say, and be anonymous about it. That is too much control. Oh yeah, they've got it now where if you suspect your neighbor, is that what you're talking about? If you have a suspicion of someone, you can turn them in.
Yeah,
that is so crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's to the point right now where you're afraid to go out and say anything to anybody. You can't use words anymore. You can't say, all those words that we've been saying it for the longest time, and that we can't say anymore. And it's embarrassing to walk out there and talk to somebody, and have to watch my words of what I'm saying to them and be careful. In hopes that they don't get upset at me and call the cops and have me thrown in jail. That's the situation that we're in right now, and we have no avenue to nowhere to go to fight this, to fight any of this. And people are not seeing it. There's nowhere that we can go. They've blocked every avenue and said, fuck you guys. Excuse my French, John Boy, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
You ain't going anywhere. We're controlling you. We're going to tell you what to do in every aspect of your life. And if you don't like it, too bad. That's what it comes down to. And if you don't like it, then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll set a false flag situation on you. That kind of stuff. That's the way I see it's going to happen. They're going to come in and they're going to say, we're with that old thing that they used to have, red dot, yellow dot, and all.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. And start rounding people up. They're pushing it, and you see the new people that are trying to get into to be president of the United States, and what they're pushing. Did you hear that guy talk about, I'm coming to get your guns? That's what he's doing. He's exactly. He just said what the rest of them are already going to be doing. That's what it is, and that's exactly what it's coming down to. The question is how do we fight back against something like that? If it does come into that point where they start actually going into people's houses and taking their guns and saying you're mentally ill, we got to hold you for a couple of days. or whatever the situation. But it's getting to that point where there's a couple things that already started happening. People are already getting little police at their doors and that saying, yeah, we heard you were yelling and screaming and fighting and you got guns and stuff. We're going to have to take your guns, and they're doing that stuff, and they'll do it here. We find out a lot of stuff right away before a lot of people do, because we run apartment complexes and we have to follow rules and regulations by law. So we have to be up to date on most of the stuff that's out there in regards to drugs, to the whole different movements that are out there. What rules and regulations, and what I can say, what I can do, what I can't do. So it's everybody talks about it online here about, we got to be careful of our words. But let me tell you guys, the business that I'm in, I have to watch every word, everything I say that comes out of my mouth. So believe me, when people say we don't understand, I understand 100% of exactly what they're doing, because they're doing it to me. And it's big time over here, John Boy. I mean, it's big time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's where I can't say anything. When somebody comes to look for an apartment, it's their significant other. Okay, it's a significant other. It's their partner. These are the words that I have to use. These are the things that we have to be careful about saying, even on here. I still can't believe what they did to me when we did that video. I still can't believe they did, and I didn't even notice it. It's just I wanted to look back and see what everything looks like, and I went back, and there was a red mark, and it said, "Check it out."
I apologize again.
No, I didn't even think it. Well, it's no biggie. It's going to stay up there. I'm not going to take it off because I like it, but they're going to put ads on it, is what they're going to do. And that was the weirdest thing. I've heard of everybody getting, having to fight to get it and get it taken care of in their video net, or it was pulled from them or something, and they had to take it down completely. This is the first time I've ever heard YouTube say that it's a copyright issue, but if you allow us to go ahead and put ads on it, you don't and leave it on, then everything's okay. I'm like, what? That was the first time I ever heard that one. And yeah, I'll when I get a chance, I'll try to get it pulled up and then show it to you. But yeah, and it does state that. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. I told my wife, and my wife like, what you gonna do? I said, I'm just gonna leave it. I like that video. It was a good video. I said, it's staying. So it's gonna have ads on it.
I just had one, they did that to me. They said they're gonna put ads on it. And the other ones, it was a copyright issue, but they still allowed it to be shown, but they're letting me know, no, it had copyright material.
All right.
Then there's some that are banned in 279 countries, and some are banned in worldwide.
Right.
But yeah, that was the first one I ever had that said that they were going to put commercials or advertisements on it because of the copyright claim.
That was the first time I've ever had a copyright issue ever.
I'm sorry, but
it was a good thing. I wasn't thinking about it either. I didn't even think without sound, because I heard the same thing, that you don't, if you take the music off or you change the speed of the music and stuff like that, then you ain't gonna have a problem. I heard the exact same thing, John Boy. So believe me, when they said that to me, so that's saying that video, the clip, the video itself, even without sound, is a copyright issue.
Yeah,
is what they're saying. So even that will get us in trouble.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay.
I mean, if I sat there and held this up, am I getting a copyright for showing their name?
Probably not. It's advertising good for them, so they like that. That's probably why they wouldn't have a problem with that.
I was going to say something, and I'm not going to.
Go ahead.
I could associate a bad deal with this. No, I can't associate a bad deal for what it was used for. I was going to say something like, yeah, I got rid of 20 dogs with this. That would give me a copyright.
That would get you some problems and some issues. But hey, I just wanted to say, it looks like we got 20 people in the show. That is fantastic, guys. Hey, guys, Sorry, I haven't stopped in and said hi or anything. It's just, once I get talking, sometimes I just can't shut me up.
Well, it's hard to get in the chat when you get a topic rolling.
Right.
And I just want to say hello to Gerald. I saw Gerald Yates in there. Love for Angels.
All my favorite people are in there.
Jam and Jammer.
Everybody in there. Roots, Storm Eraser, Teacup. Oh, yeah.
Hodgepodge. We had, what was that? Hit That Fire? What was that?
Yeah.
Spectral Sky.
Yeah. Save Sinners in there.
Smoke That Fire.
Pete's there. Jenny B. Thank you guys for all coming out. We appreciate it, and we really enjoy having you guys here as well. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, I do.
But yeah, I like what Hodgepodge says. The cops using Echo, Alexa, Siri as evidence.
Well, think about it.
That's another one. That's another one. Maybe we should do that again, John Boy, and ask her a bunch of questions again. No, I'm gonna give her a rest. Yeah, but I have mine on right now because I want to see what's gonna happen right now. Because I taunt them. I don't care. She'll open up and she'll come on sometimes by herself and that, and you hear her talking that, and you're like, what the hell? There was no TV on. There was no sound. Just the dogs and me sitting in here, and she'll come on. And I'm like, what the hell? And she'll say something stupid. I'm sorry, I can't find that. Or something. And I'm like, what the hell's wrong with her? So yeah, so she's not really that good anyway. I really don't enjoy using her. I use her for what time is it, or what's the weather going to be like today. And that's pretty much about what I do. But now that we found out what they're actually doing, having people listening. Actually, we're just going in and just listening, just a little bit, a segment of their voices and that. Really.
Hey, I just want to say, Lita Beans just jumped in, and a Save Center jumped in. Hello, how are y'all? No, that Alexis is listening to you all the time. I would never have one. That's just me. I would never ever.
Yeah, I got her. I'm still planning her demise.
And she's figured out a way against it already. I
bet you.
You're going to get shocked when you go to
exactly. Get some feedback on it. Yeah. But yeah, we're just, it's just nuts out there, John Boy. It's sad that you and me and everybody in chat has to deal with this situation anymore. AI is taking over. It's no longer a guess that they're taking over. They're taking over.
Well, there's people that don't understand the AI. They think it's just a computer program. Man, that's a lot more than that.
It's crazy. Hey, when they delve into the AI with the quantum mechanics and that and quantum computing, we got to seriously issue. If you've read any of their theories or their writings on quantum computing and that, it's unbelievable the things that they're talking about. They actually say they reach into another dimension, to calculate whatever questions they're asking the computer, or to solve a problem or an issue for them. Dude, this is some dangerous stuff. I don't know how the hell they're doing it, but just saying that stuff is enough to say, okay, well, we're going to be really screwed in the end, no matter what we do.
All right. Well, look at this. For example, this StreamYard app we're on right now, the computers that we're on with it.
Right.
Oh man, where was I going? I lost train of thought right in the middle of
that.
That not crazy?
That happens when we get older, John Boy. It does.
Man,
I'm 58. I'm lucky if I remember a quarter of the stuff I go through the day.
God, that's crazy. It'll come to me in a minute. You got something else to say?
Well, it's just I was just trying to figure this out. I went on the computer and I was doing some researching to figure out how many deaths are in the United States in the hospitals across the United States, and I wanted to find out how many people die. And then I wanted to find out how many people die that are on medications and correlate and work them together and work out some numbers. But the amounts that I'm figuring out about how many deaths are related just to pharma and the government is unbelievable.
It's probably 90%.
How about like 93.7%?
Really?
Yeah.
I knew it'd be high, but
yeah. And when I saw the statistics on them and that, I was just amazed that the amount of people that die in the United States alone. Because if you remember the topic I had before about abortions, the numbers that I was telling you about, that's not including that stuff. It's just it's just the government and pharma on how many people have actually died from the medications that they've been taking, and how many physicians have passed out the drugs to their people, and the statistics are crazy. Millions of people. We're in the United States alone, the numbers. I got them written down. Actually, I think I got them on my phone. I took a picture of it so I can have it. And let's see here if I can find it real quick, because I wanted to read those numbers to you because it was unbelievable, the amount. Let me see. Nope, that's not it. Well, bear with me, guys, for a second. I got to figure out where it is.
I'm still trying to figure out what I was talking about the computers. Oh, that's what it was. Everything we're using right now is based off zeros and ones.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Every program ever written is based off zeros and ones.
Except
that quantum computer, the AI, can read a 1 as a 0 or a 1 or both.
Yep. Exactly.
At the same time. That's what makes it so crazy, because it's reading in a dimensional. I mean, it's working for ones or zeros or ones or both.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't do. We can't do that ourselves.
No,
we can't do that.
Way.
I know, and that's the problem.
Imagine if we had computer. I mean, that AI is basically they manifest in a kind of, I guess, a physical form on this earth, a housing unit for demons.
Yeah.
Because if they're going to another dimension, they're going to the demonic realm.
Well, and that's what you and I believe. Yeah, exactly. And that's what we believe.
Well, that's why they got Sheba and all that up there,
That's CERN, yeah. It's nuts. Okay, don't have it on my phone. Let me see. It's got to be on my tablet.
You look like you're as organized as I am.
Yeah. No, well, I got everything. I got everything sitting up there on my desk. I got my computer is right here, well, in front of me. I got my laptop over off to the other side, and then I have my phone right in front of me, and then I got this thing, tablet, over on the other side. So I've got all this stuff on, and I knew I was going to have to pull some of this up because I wanted to give you the numbers that I found, but I got to find out where I put them. But I'll get them. I'll find them here in a minute. I'm hoping. Let me see. Nope, that's the social credit score thing that we talked about.
Well, I'm going to jump back to the constitutional rights.
Cool. Let's do that.
Real quick while you're doing that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't realize that every American citizen in this country is actually a sovereign citizen. And what makes you sovereign is having your rights. But the problem is they've taken our rights away. And if you try to stand up for your rights, they label you a sovereign citizen as a bad thing to put you in a category of crazies, live back in the woods by yourself. Uh-oh. Who am I talking about? No, but anyhow. But you know what I'm saying? Like they're trying to label everybody with Trump as a white supremacist.
Right.
Now they're saying if you're a sovereign citizen, you're bad. No, every American citizen is a sovereign citizen. But you're not now because you lost your constitutional rights. And like I said, when you try to stand up for them, they call you I had a cop say, "Are you one of them sovereign citizens?" And I looked at him and I said, no, I'm not. I said, I'm a citizen that knows my rights.
Right.
And he didn't like that.
Right. Well, if there's to be honest with you, John Boy, we have been controlled since,
birth.
Well, pretty much from birth, but it pretty much started where Federal Reserve in that, when they started doing Federal Reserve in that. The banks asked, what collateral, United States, do you have to guarantee these notes, this money that we're loaning you? And the United States said, well, we got people. And when they work for us, then they give us the money. And then we'll pay you. So the approval on that is the day that you're born, and they fingerprint your hand and your feet, and they put it on there, and on your birth certificate, and it states out there that you're the property of the United States. It's that simple, and we owe. That's why we owe, because of our own government, and that's where it starts. When they started doing all this crap to us and started taking everything from us, and this is where we're at now. From birth of this whole thing, it started back then, and now we're all sitting back enjoying the bullshit that we got to deal with on an everyday basis now, because of that. And it's going to continue in our Constitution, John Boy. Our Constitution is it's lost, because it's no longer being recognized by a lot of people in our own country.
Yeah, politicians.
Exactly. And they talk about us being individuals and fight for us and stand with us, yay team, which is all bullshit. And we're the children down the line, we're standing there saying, can I have some more, sir, please? That's what they want us to be, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, they want everybody to conform, and
the Constitution. That's why they're going after the First Amendment and the Second Amendment right away, and they're hitting them hard, and they're going to continue hitting them hard until that Second Amendment's gone. When that Second Amendment's gone, we're gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they start using, those little toys that they decided to go ahead and save up, the little guillotines and the FEMA camps and all that other shit that they have set up for everybody. But it's up to us individuals to stand up and fight. I know for myself, and I can't speak for anybody else in that, but I'm going to fight any way I can. And I don't know how to do it myself, but I'm going to, whatever I can do.
Doesn't the Second Amendment give us the right to bear arms to protect our freedoms?
Right.
Isn't that what it's for, to protect our freedoms?
Well, it was actually, yeah. But the main thing was, it was set up for us to protect our own country against our own government. That's why they put it in there. It was to protect, our freedom to stay free and not have to deal with an oversized government. And that's what they say. A lot of these guys back then, they said the reason why we're putting it in there is simply because of that. Because if a government policies get too big and they get bigger than the people in that, then you have to have some way to protect yourselves. And that's the reason why we have it. And once it's gone, we're screwed. We will literally live in the freaking Hunger Game situation, folks.
Well, this is how I see it. We're the last generation that's fighting for our rights.
Yeah, because the new generation hasn't the slightest idea unless we teach them and we show them and we try to make them and the hardest thing is we're not trying to force people to understand. We're just trying to show them proof.
Hey, we're just normal American folks on this YouTube thing trying to show people what the real deal is.
Exactly. And that's exactly what's going on. And that's why I like watching Enlightened as well, too. Because he gets out there and says exactly the way it is as well. And that's what
Enlightened's in the house, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I see his logo there. But yeah, and he says it. And that's what it needs to be. And people that need to be called out should be called out. And people that are doing right, they should be praised for what they're doing as well, and
Right.
he does that. He wants that community to grow just like we do, and that's how we do it, by telling the truth. We don't hide it, we don't skim it, we don't mix words as if we can without getting attacked.
And don't sugarcoat. I do not sugarcoat anything.
Yeah.
And I apologize to anyone I offend, but I just tell it like it is. And that's my bad. And
well, the thing is John Boy, is we're men. I remember when I was growing up, when a man says something, a man does it.
mm-hmm.
A handshake with another man is an agreement. And that is the way it should be with men nowadays. It isn't. They're playing little childish games with each other and that, instead of acting like real men and taking control of their family and that, and say, hey, we got to take care of our family first. It's priority. What do we need to do to make sure we're safe? What happens if the situation of an earthquake happens? What happens if a hurricane? What happens if our own government comes in? What do we do? How do we plan it? And that's what each family should do. And that, since Christians believe that the man is the head of the family, then that's what the man should be doing in his family.
Right.
Instead of causing divorces and all that other crap, that's going on. We have men out there that are acting like children instead of acting like adults, and that's scary to see. That's scary to see a 35-year-old man act like a 15-year-old kid.
Well,
and that's how
you watch those politicians, you'll see it.
Well, I think they're dumb. I think they're dumbing down the American citizens with all this spraying of stuff and the food and the plastic in the rain and all the crap that's out there and that. And it's causing, like you even said it a while back, men's testosterone levels went.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think somehow or another they've got some sort of female hormone that's affecting plants and everything. Somehow they figured something out. I don't know if they're using the light to do it or what, but they have figured out how to neutralize the seeding of native plants and stuff.
Right, but do you see what the issue is in why they're getting away with this stuff? Because people are not sticking up for it. They're not fighting it. Oh, the government must know. They take care of us. They wouldn't do that to us.
Yeah.
Come, little puppets. Let me show you how to drink water today. You need to go to the bathroom. Let's go. Come on. You
know how many first responders they lost in Katrina because it was so bad they were trying to save their own families?
No, I don't even have the slightest idea.
I mean, there's a lot of them that's like, man, they couldn't help others because they had their own families, big families they had to get a hold of.
It is. And so every aspect of everything that we're talking about all falls back on our constitutional rights. Every part of it, everything that we're talking about right now, all falls back to our Constitution. And when it's gone, John Boy, what are we going to do?
Well, think about this. Back when the Constitution was written, everybody was self-sufficient. So there was no way to harm anyone's way of life.
Right.
You see?
Exactly. And they made it even more difficult when they decided to go ahead and not let people grow food on their land anymore and open grocery stores and sell the food to the people. Go figure.
Well,
we could do a better job. The government, we could do better than you.
Jammer's right. Wait a minute. Where'd it go? FEMA will save you.
Oh, yeah. Come on in. Come on in. We got everything that you want here. Yeah. And that's scary. But I'm hoping that I'm not here when that happens. I really am. I'm hoping that all the stuff that we're hearing that are not conspiracy theories only, and that the things that we're trying to figure out and understand and research, that we get through this, but we're not. I don't like being, pessimistic, but I don't really see a good turn in all this right now.
I don't either.
And I don't see the future showing it any better.
I don't either.
Not at all. Not at all. When they can come on here and tell me what I can say and tell me what I can put on here, but But the bad thing about the whole situation with YouTube is they're riding off the backs of the people that got them started.
Mm-hmm.
They're running off the backs of them. YouTube has done that since they started. They promote, they get people up here, they start having shows and that, and they make money. They make money. And because of us, they are at that stage where they think they're above us now, and that they can come back and say, "Hey, we want you to do what we say." And that could be probably just like maybe 3 or 4 people in YouTube, the high ups that are making policy against all of us. So it doesn't make sense, and because people won't stand up, this will continue. But it will get to that point when it gets to what is it, Hong Kong?
We should have been standing up 20 years ago.
Yeah, we should have. We should have started up one before that too.
But we're like frogs in a pot of water,
Right.
We didn't feel that stuff.
Not until start boiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, and now we're in the same situation now. See, this is my opinion. This is a war against the human race. Excuse me, race. Exactly. This is a war against us, and we're allowing it to continue. That's the part that cracks me up more than anything. I have to laugh about it because I can't understand why humans would just stand there and let our own government take our rights away from us and your children's rights away from them. When they go to school, the parents don't have no rights for those kids.
Well, check this out.
It's a fucked up world, man.
I was watching Uncle Surf this morning, and he was sitting there, they were out in the country, right? Evidently they lived in the city, and they got these dogs. He was saying, and this, all right, the point I'm trying to make is our young children are fixing, this is what's happening to our children of today. These dogs, they've got them out in the middle of nowhere, thousands and thousands of acres of woods, right? The dogs would not get out of the house. They were city dogs. I'm talking about they're like Labradors, big dogs. He said they would not even go down the driveway unless they had the leash on them. It took, like he said, a month and a half before they would even start walking around in the backyard. Mm-hmm. Now, those dogs grew up in the city, so they were used to one way of living. So our younger generations are used to the way this government is doing the people, so they think it's normal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, everybody's being institutionalized or brainwashed or whatever, however you want to look at it.
And drugged.
Mm-hmm.
And just going to the doctor and getting medication, you're getting drugged. All that's chemicals and stuff that they got in that, all the synthetics, all the, it's just unbelievable, the stuff, mercury, and it's disgusting. But I understand what you're saying about the dogs. As a matter of fact, one of my tenants has just moved in. His dog can't go for a walk unless the dog has the leash in his mouth. He walks himself with the leash in his mouth. I'm like, oh my God, why would you teach your dog to carry the leash? This guy's so lazy in that he lets his own dog walk himself. I'm like, but that's the reality of the world that we live in.
Oh my.
It's crazy. It's really nuts, man. There's no understanding people anymore. Wow. Hit up here real quick. But yeah, it's nuts, John Boy. The things that we are seeing just from the time that you were born and I was born, the change that we've seen just with cell phone. I remember the big old cell phone. It was like about a 4-pounder phone. It looked like the old walkie-talkies in the military. Them suckers are big.
Yeah.
And then they started getting smaller and smaller technology, and now we got 5G coming.
And, I was thinking about that yesterday because I was watching these people in their vaping machines.
Yeah.
Look, these vaping machines are like that big, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's about the size of the old cell phone, and these people are smoking out of them. I'm like, what's the deal? Why? Everything's getting smaller, and now they're smoking out stuff bigger than old cell phones. I'm like, that gum.
And that's another way, lasting longer on the battery, so that they don't have to recharge it so fast.
Hey, did you hear my theory on these vapors?
No,
they got lithium batteries in them, right? What's to say, since they've got this set up with your nicotine or whatever in there, and this heats up, got a little hose, sucks it down there, and then it comes back up through the stem. Well, who's to say they don't have this lithium battery rigged up to every time you're pulling a draw off of that, you're pulling some lithium out of that battery?
Anything's possible with them.
Think about it. If I thought it, it can be done.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Anything can be done. And that's the world that we're living in. How many stuff that our own government is doing to us that we don't even know about?
Oh yeah, they test out stuff on cities to see what certain things to do to people.
Well,
they did Time Traveler.
Well, yeah.
Before they started spraying, they come out there with deadgum people going to do a health survey, and they did the whole neighborhood, right? They sprayed for like 8 years and stopped spraying that heavy, and they come back in doing another how's your health thing.
All right. That's pretty sad. That's just as sad as them dropping, the gas and, Agent Orange.
Oh, yeah.
They needed to find out. They were wanting to find out if it's going to work the way we want it to work.
Well, they did the Agent Orange to defoliate the jungle so they could see the enemy.
Yeah.
But they didn't care what the chemicals did to the people. They just wanted to make sure they got the leaves off the tree.
Yeah, and that's for their own benefit, without thinking about what could happen to the men in service there.
And then they extended the monsoon with weather modification.
I got to look a lot more into that weather modification. I know they've done a lot. I've heard a lot of stuff.
No, they did. In the Vietnam War, they extended the monsoon 1 extra month by seeding the clouds, and they actually, basically drowned them out of there. Not drowned them, but, they just made their, how they had all the little tunnels and stuff?
Right.
All that stuff got flooded. They had to come out of the ground.
Right.
But they extended monsoon.
So if they were doing it then, what are they doing now?
Oh, they're 100 times more sophisticated in the weather modification now, because they're using HAARP to heat up that's what HAARP's for, to heat up the atmosphere. And if you heat a spot up, that's going to distribute out and it's going to push out. You know what I'm saying? And they've got chemicals that they can combine up there.
Yeah.
It range in like hundreds of degrees hot or hundreds of degrees to the cold. They put stuff up there to change the weather patterns, and
they can control the weather. They can control the world. And it's just Orwell, dude. It's just.
You sounded just like
84.
Kennedy made a speech. John F. Kennedy made a speech about controlling the weather and controlling the world.
That's it. That's what they're doing. It's exactly what they're doing. They're taking over. I try to be optimistic. I really do. But you see the stuff that they're doing, and it's like, a butterfly don't look like a butterfly anymore. A tree's not looking like a tree anymore. People are not looking like people anymore. They're looking like zombies walking around stuck with this thing in their face, not paying attention to what they're doing. And that's the reality of what the world is now. We are not separated. We are one now with the AI and the computer system. We are hooked up. We are loaded. I'm just waiting for information to come straight into our heads, and that.
Remember when they used to
happen?
Instead of giving everybody cell phones in the old days, the way they tracked animals is they'd put collars on them.
Right.
Right. They figured out an easy way out. These people, if we put enough games, if we put Candy Crush on here, everybody get it. Man, I can't believe how many people get addicted to that crap.
There's a lot of people playing it. That's the number one game in the world.
That's crazy.
Number one game in the world, and it's been going on for a long time.
It's nothing but a spinoff of Tetris.
True. Yes. But but it's going to continue, John Boy. In the games, our water supply systems, our housing, our food, it's all connected. Everything's connected now. There's nothing off the grid anymore. Everything is on the grid, and we are in it, and we are part of it.
Right.
And there's no escaping it anymore. The reality is this. You can take these computer systems and you can take your cell phones and you can trash them and get rid of your TVs and not listen to the news and that and still try to live out in society. There's no way you can.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be connected.
Yeah, you definitely do, because you got to know what's happening.
Exactly. Even if you get false stuff on the tubes, or false stuff.
The way I do it is I get my information, and I'm not taking it to heart. I'm just gathering information from everywhere. But if the pieces start adding up, then I'm like, all right, there's something here. I'm going to discern it for myself. I'm not going to take somebody's word.
Exactly.
But I'm going to listen to them, see what they got to say.
Exactly.
And see if they are proving a point or, making a valid statement or whatever.
Exactly. And that's why I tell everybody, research the stuff that you're going to talk about, research and make sure you have that information so that if somebody comes back to you about it, you can at least pull that information and get that information. It's very important to have that information. And that just protects you as well too, because you if you're telling the people the truth out there, they can't come back at you and say anything. They can't. There's no way that they could say you're wrong. All they can say is you're right, because it's right in front of their face. But the problem is you're trying to give them information which you found out is true, and they don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
they don't want to acknowledge it.
My deal is, I don't know what the stuff that is on the YouTube that they talk about now, I was trying to tell people about 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's out there, but I don't know.
No, I think I woke up probably about maybe 3 years ago, John Boy. 3 years ago, when I started really realizing and watching how a lot of my tenants have to deal with stuff and what they have to do to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And why, and then I started figuring, why are they having to survive like this? We live in the richest country in the world, and we have enough food and money in our country to take care of everybody that's out there. But the problem is, it's a greed situation. It's all greed out there to make and better their lives. To even to the points where the so-called elites are trying to find a way to extend their own lives. And that means getting themselves wired into a computer system and downloading their brain into a computer. I'm like, are you serious? But they got billions and billions and billions of money, and they're able and capable to do stuff beyond what we can comprehend. And that's just a fact. We don't know what they're doing and how they're trying to do all this stuff. We only get pieces and bits here and there to understand what's happening. And it scares the shit out of me. But our Constitution is gone almost, John Boy. And I agree with you on it. We no longer have a country where I even heard the reason why I say a country that we're living in right now is because I even know a guy that went to go pick up his kid from school, and he got arrested for picking up his kid from school.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, why? And because he was the stepdad. And I'm like, because you were the stepdad. Yeah, he wasn't his biological father. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so he's fighting with him right now. He's fighting with him right now at the school because of it.
Well, what did the school release the child to him?
No, they had to call him on to verify that this is the right person. Yeah.
Well,
there was no problem, but the thing is they went after him because of it.
Wait a minute. So they called the mother and she said it was fine, and they still did what they did?
Yeah. because they didn't know who he was. So they had to take him and they had to verify all his information of who he is.
Really?
Yeah, because it took a while to get in touch with the mom.
So for whatever reason he was needing to get the child out of school early for was kind of thrown out the window due to all the other crap.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was just for a dentist appointment. That's all
Probably
it was.
missed it.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, but that's the kind of crazy shit I'm starting to see. And that's why I said I just woke up like 3 years ago. And I'm like, holy shit, this stuff is real that they're doing. This is not no game. This is reality. And we're getting screwed in the end.
Well, in 98, I started telling people to look up in the sky because it wasn't chemtrails, but there was something going on way up in the atmosphere. And I was seeing like an oil film. And this is back when Kuwait was burning, when they had the war down there, right?
Right, it was all in fire, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, maybe that's an oil sheen from all the oil and stuff that's burning down there that's getting up in the atmosphere.
Mm.
And I kept watching that stuff. Well, I might as well say 97. Because I remember I saw it for like 3 years. And then the next thing I remember seeing my first chemtrail plane, and it was way south of me. And that thing was leaving this white line across the sky. And I was like, that thing must really be high up in the air to have a contrail like that. You know what I mean? I've never seen a contrail stay. That contrail was up there the rest of the day. And I was like, I've never seen that. And this is like 2000 or something like that. Somewhere it was early.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my one of my last videos that I did. I think yesterday I think it was yesterday.
The one where you showed you got a pretty apartment complex, if that's the one you're talking about.
I'm talking about there was no clouds in the sky.
Oh yeah. That's one.
At all. I mean, that's the first time I've never seen in Colorado that I can remember no clouds in the sky at all. And that sun looked weird.
Yeah. You know why that sky looks so blue? As some sort of fake blue. I don't know how they're doing it, but sometimes you can see the aircraft disappearing in that blue as it's going by, like it's going through some blue stuff.
Wow, that was all I know. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. No clouds and anywhere I looked. And I even climbed up on top of the roof just to see if I could see a little bit farther over the trees. I see nothing. I was like, what the hell's going on here? I said, I told my wife, I go, I think they're on vacation. I think they're on vacation. I says, the chemtrail guys, their planes and that, they're on vacation right now. They got to be.
You saw
what's that?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just, I freaked out about it. And I was like, I just couldn't believe it was like that. That's all I wanted to say.
Comment, didn't you? I said the chemtrailers are on strike.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Now they're probably out over the ocean again trying to get another hurricane going. All hands on deck.
I thought I heard something just recently that another storm is building up over there, over the Bahamas.
Yeah, but they're saying it's supposed to track further east of the east coast, maybe.
Yeah, I heard something about that, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, it's... The life that we were expecting to live when we were growing up as children does not exist.
Exactly.
It does not exist anymore. There's nothing that we can do. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm like, come on, what's left? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to us now?
Look what Open Your Eyes Pete's put in there. It's called Neuralink.
That's it. That's the one that's for your exactly.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, exactly.
And once they get that in you, the AI will be able to control you. You will become the robot.
Right. and that's the question. And then we'll be real slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Real slaves to the machine.
That thing will start shocking you if you don't get up.
Go to work. You're making $1. You're making $1.25 an hour today for an 8-hour work. If you're lucky. But your life and my life from when we were children to now is unbelievable. And I from the time I was born, from seeing, well, actually, I was pretty young. Moonflight, the first one to the moon. You know, and from there, and seeing all the stuff that I've seen since, and now, you know, the technology that we have now is unbelievable.
Believe it or not, Last Stand, I remember being a child. I'm talking about little, and it was on TV, and I remember asking my mom, and she goes, "We have men on the moon." And we went outside, and she pointed up. The men are up there on that moon right now. I remember seeing it on TV, and her taking me outside and pointing at the moon, saying, "Those people are." Now, I don't know whether to believe that now or not, but you know, I do remember.
I don't know what to believe now. All I know is this about the moon right now. We got a lot of people. Yeah, we got a lot of countries wanting to get up to the moon. Why, John Boy? What's going on? What's so important that all of a sudden all of the countries are wanting to get there?
It's the battle star. You control the moon, you control the earth. Think about it.
Well,
the moon's always going around the earth. They can put that gum
I've heard
whatever.
Right? Exactly, and part of that, what I was hearing, you were saying just now, laser, it leads me into what I was just going to say now. They're also talking about asteroid coming in, and that's the reason why they're trying to get to the moon and stuff, to use some kind of laser, some kind of weapon or something to deflect it or move it or try to figure something out on how to do it. So there's so many different things out there. It's hard to figure out what the hell's going on because our government's not telling us anything. And why are they hiding it from us?
How would the moon be a good place to put a defense system up against asteroids anyhow? Because the moon will be behind the Earth at certain points if something's coming. You know what I'm saying?
Because it would be a lot easier to launch rockets from the moon than it would be to launch from Earth.
All right, how are they getting those rockets to the moon, or are they building them on the moon? I mean,
Elon Musk, all these guys with the technology, all those trips that they've been taking up to the space station, and all that right now that they've been doing a lot lately. There's got to be something that they're doing there. There's got to be some weird shit going on. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist on. I'm just trying to understand. And the things that I'm hearing of what's going on, but when you ask those questions to our own government, what do they say? We don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
So just go back home. Everything's fine.
Mushrooms grow better in the dark.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So we're just a working race to supply and demand to the rich.
It goes higher than that too, though. It's for whoever's running the behind the scenes.
That's the question. Are we sure are we sure that it's the Bilderbergs? Are we sure it's the Elon Musk? Are we sure that it's these guys? There's somebody above. Is it the Soros? That's the question that we're all trying to figure out.
There's somebody above them, the Soros and all them. There's somebody they're just the hands for whatever it is that
they're. Who are they? That's my question. I've been trying to figure out. Who are they? Who are the ones that are actually doing it? In my opinion, I think a lot of it is company controlled. The United States is controlled by companies.
Well, the United States is.
Yeah, it's controlled by. And then we're being run by them. They make policies in the United States. That's how they do it. They run the business and that's how the government runs, by what the big companies are doing. But who's above them? Who's really pulling the strings? Who's actually making decisions on your life and my life? That's the part that we got to get down to the nitty gritty on. But we're not getting that answer. We all know that. All these rich guys that are doing all this different testing, Gates with vaccines, and all these guys doing all this stuff and everything out there. But what are they really doing this for? Is it money itself? I don't think so. Money only gets you so far. You would be so rich in that. So what's your next step?
The deal. They're trying to cheat death. They want to live forever,
Yeah.
and they're working with the wrong side to do it. And
Yeah.
that's what's controlling this world. The fallen ones. The devil rules this earth.
That's my opinion as well too. But who's their lead man? Who's their higher ups that they're controlling. But and we are the fallen angels came. They came here, and they got kicked out of heaven and said, and this is their realm. They have control of everything that's going on. And Satan's sitting back there saying, "Yeah, boys, keep doing what you're doing to Manuel, and keep on doing all this other stuff to these guys out there, and and that's pretty much what's going on. As long as he can keep control of us, we're gonna be happy." Did I hear gunshots?
No, not here. I don't think I got my earbuds in though.
Well, I heard something right over on my microphone, but my microphone will pick up stuff outside too.
It might have been. Open up your door and look out.
Hell no. No, I got a camera up there, man.
Well, I'm kind of the opposite. I'm like my stupid dog. I hear gunfire, I head toward it.
No, I want to be prepared.
Look, I had a guy a couple years ago on the top of the ridge right out here. There's a road, and it looks like it's out in the middle of nowhere, right?
Right.
I heard a truck stop up there, and about a minute and a half later, I started hearing pow, 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 and it was pointing my direction and everything. I'm like, what in the world? And I took off running up there, and dude's coming out of the woods carrying a pet carrier. I go, dude, what are you doing? He said, I was getting rid of these puppies. I said, you're shooting my way. And then, it didn't really hit me at the time that he was getting rid of puppies. So he took a pet carrier out there and was shooting all the puppies.
People are sick, man.
But he was shooting my way. But I didn't realize that he was killing puppies. And then I was still upset over being shot my way.
Right. I would be too.
Then I realized he was killing puppies, and I'm like, dude, you can give those away or something. You don't kill puppies like that.
Yeah. Well, that's the sickness of Satan, dude.
And
that's what I say about it, religion and that. I see people that are hurting and stuff and everything, and it's Satan. He's causing them grief, and he's making it better, and he's keeping them away from God. That's what's going on. It's just that simple. And as long as he has control of the earth, and then he's got his I call it the AI, the computer, which is his what is it called? Antichrist. That's what I think sometimes.
Well, it's called the Beast system. It's actually named Beast.
See?
D-Wave, Devil Wave.
I know, but the United States has lost control to the point where not even our president is going to be able to do anything. They go in there, don't get me wrong, Trump has done some good stuff, and he's done some stuff that I didn't like either. But the thing is, he's a lot better than the freaking other people that I see on that stage.
Yeah.
Coming up right now, too. So there you go. The Fallout Shelter. I believe the Rothschilds family answers straight to Lucifer. Okay, I really got to go. Later, guys. Fallout, thank you for coming. We appreciate it, man. Thank you for coming by and stopping and visiting with us. We really appreciate you all coming by. Thank you. But yeah, and then it's sometimes I get tongue twisted. I can't even get the words out as fast as I want to sometimes. Mm-hmm. But the government is taking our Constitution. We know how the world runs, in our opinion, what I think and believe with Satan and the world and the government and the world order, and it's a way just to take away our rights on everything, and the Constitution is getting destroyed piece by piece. But it's okay though, because the kids are not going to be able to read it anyway, because it's in cursive, and they're taken away out of school, so the kids don't can read cursive. So it's going to be a different language.
It's going to be a win-win. They're going to say, well, we're going to print this out, in regular print so y'all can read it, and then they'll just reword it.
Exactly. just like a lot of religious groups did with the Bible. Same thing. And that's why a lot of people have a lot of issue problems in regards to the Bible, because there were so many different people writing it and interpreting it into what they believe it to be. And so, it's nuts. I can go on and on about this stuff. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think that our own government would actually turn on us like this and do it in our behalf. That's the part that freaks me out. In our behalf.
Well, they do that, and you know how many people are like, man, I'm so glad they're doing it on our behalf.
Yeah.
These people, like, they think they need a babysitter. The government is their caretaker. I mean,
yeah. No. Exactly, Albany. Exactly. She says, yes, they won't know how to read the Constitution. Exactly. Yeah. But this is all planned. This is all planned. It has all been set in stone. You've seen the Georgia Guidestones as well too, John Boy. You've seen that. I can't remember the link that's on the internet that shows the population that we have now, and the year, how many millions of people in the United States just disappeared. That's their prediction. So it's happening everywhere, and I see people sick and dying when there is no need for it. There's no need for anybody to get sick anymore. There isn't.
Let me ask you a question. Of all the people, all right, how can I ask this? All right, the sick people you saw, I guarantee, that died, all of them were under some sort of doctor's medication, right?
Yeah.
This is my deal. Anybody I've ever met that's got some sort of problem, they're always believing in going to the doctor.
Right.
And the other people I meet that are totally healthy and haven't been sick in 30 years, like myself, do not go to doctors.
Right.
I have not had the flu since 1983.
Right. That's good. That's good.
No.
But yeah, and a lot of people like me that were on medications, I stopped taking medications, and I feel 100% better. I'm not kidding, John Boy. It's simple and easy. I ended up getting really sick for many years. They couldn't figure out what was wrong with my intestines. A lot of intestinal problem, and no colitis, nothing like that at all.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, nothing like that. They did, the scopes and everything to check out, make sure.
You know what it is? The GMO food you're eating.
And what happened is because they finally, one doctor said, well, let's check and see if you're allergic to anything.
Okay,
well, they tested me. I'm allergic to bananas. I'm allergic to corn in any form. Okay. Which corn is in everything.
Sugar. I mean, they sweeten everything with corn.
Exactly. So I can't have beef unless it's grass fed.
Really?
So what we come to the conclusion was that I was being poisoned by the GMO corns, the bananas that are actually clones of a clone of a clone's, and the wheat as well, the GMO.
You're allergic to non-real food.
Yeah. So once I stopped doing that, I was 310 pounds. I went down to 158 pounds. When they told me about this, and this is in the last 4 years, so I've lost that much weight because I was being poisoned by our own food. So once I stopped doing all that, I don't eat anything prepackaged. I don't eat anything that's been processed. I eat my vegetables. I eat the meats that I can eat in that, and if I get the grass-fed meat, which is far and in between because it's so expensive for beef, I'm a lot healthier, to feel better, and everything. And it's because I was being poisoned by the food that I was eating, which they call you're allergic. It's not allergic. You're being poisoned.
I saw a gin girl said something about CBD vape. No, let me tell you a story. My dad used to go to Arkansas, And there's somewhere, and I don't know, it's like a flea market or whatever. But anyhow, this guy sold this sweet corn, and I can't remember what it was called now. But my dad loved that stuff. Well, it was good. It was good sweet corn. I tell you what, it was sweet and it was good. But man, my stomach be so messed up a few hours later, and I didn't realize anything. You know, I ate some of that corn again. You know, the next day, I guess, and my stomach's messed up. I go, well, I must be having some sort of stomach problem. Well, I didn't eat any of that corn for like a week, and then I ate some of that corn, and dadgummit, my stomach didn't get messed up again. And I was like, it's the GMO, because there's no sweet corn that is, you know, there's no corn, period, that's not GMO.
No, not anymore.
But there's definitely no sweet corn.
Right. But that's
guess what? My dad loved that. But look, my dad diverticulitis after that, because he loved that corn. He was eating that corn. Now he can't eat anything that's fibrous or anything because of the pockets in there. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Right. But that's the way they do it, dude. They're experimenting on us on every level, from vaccines to the skies, what they're spraying, to our foods, to you name it. They're experimenting on us on a wide groups. You know, the whole country is being exposed to all this stuff that there's no need for it. There's no need for it.
My question is, if they're trying to make it against the law to collect rainwater, is it because the rainwater's got so much crap in it? They don't, I mean, not that they're looking out for us, but if people are using that rainwater to drink or whatever, and people start dying and start leaking it to the rainwater, they'll start figuring out we got a problem. I mean, is that why they're making that illegal?
Well, as far as I know, the reason why they made it illegal, because the land that I have 5 acres of land in the San Luis Valley here in Colorado. Okay.
Yeah.
And we were asking them questions at the zoning commission's office and that, in regards to why we can't have rainwater, and fill it in our barrels. And they said that's because they need to keep the water table full as much as possible. And if we take from it, we're taking from everybody else.
You know what I would have told that guy? Well, if I had a well, I'd get that same water years later. So what's the difference?
Exactly. But the thing is, they don't. Well, it comes down to money. They don't want you to do that. They want you to have to pay them for the water and that. You know, it's about money. It's money. It's corruption. It's all. Everything is combined together for it to look real pretty and peachy for all of us, when in reality it's not. This is not reality, guys. You do not live in a real world. This is not the way it's supposed to be. We should be able to take care of ourselves, go outside in our front yards and that, pick apples and that, have it canning, be able to put it in your house for the winter time and that, in case something happens and that, you know, simple things to do. But we can't do that. We got to make sure that that stuff has been irradiated with radiation to make sure they kill any germs and everything else on it. And then we end up eating that stuff. And then they put in our food, our beef. Beef looks so good, you know, and they put number something red dye.
Oh yeah, no, they called it red goo or red something. What was it? Slime?
Yeah, to make it look fresh.
Yeah. That company got mad too. They're like, "You're putting us out of business." Well, they wasn't doing anything but taking like, I don't know what they were making, but it didn't need to be put in the meat.
Right. Albany's got a good thing. She says chemo is killing people slowly to work it too. It works on people, I guess, but not all humans for sure. CBD can help a lot, even for pain. Mm-hmm. Chemo. Most people die. When I was reading the about the deaths and that, chemo is the thing that kills the people.
Right.
It's not the cancer that usually kills them. It's the chemo that kills them, because it's destroying your cells in your body and your organs and everything else. That's what it's doing. You know, it's attacking, and that's exactly what's happening right now. But they're causing the deaths because they're experimenting on us. That's what they're doing. They don't care. They don't care. I believe in my heart, they just don't care about us.
It looks like we're getting a raid or something.
I saw that.
We got Treeland Truth. How you doing? I saw somebody else before that, Bob. In. We got Truth and You, Nicholas. Man, I can't. Graphite? Did I read that right?
Hey, all I got to say is hi, Anime. I haven't heard from you or seen you for a while.
Yeah, hello. Anime. Real recognizes real. I was on live with her today on Enlightened Cafe.
Yeah.
How you doing? Real recognizes real.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people in there. We got 20 people.
Anime,
that's nice.
You ought to be happy you're not blue anymore. Oh, she didn't like being blue.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
I'm sorry. I couldn't never get you off there. I finally did though. Yeah, Jenny went through 2 rounds of chemo.
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember her saying that. I remember her talking about what she had to go through in that. And that is nothing. That's nothing nice to have to deal with. To be irradiated or have radiation put in your body in that.
She said that they actually had to put a radiation tag on her, was it a wrist and her ankle or something? Anyhow, to show that she was radioactive when she left the hospital.
Man.
What?
God, man, they're killing us. I'm just glad Jen B's okay. I'm glad she's all right. After all the stuff that she's that I've heard her talk about, all the stuff that she had to deal with. Yeah, that's nothing to mess with. And then on top of that, having to have the chemo on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've seen my aunt. I've seen a lot of people in my family have to deal with this, the chemo stuff. I swear, I told my wife, if I ever land up with that stuff, I ain't going. Sorry, I ain't going out that way.
Oh, I'm not.
It ain't happen. No, I'll do natural.
Yeah,
I'll do natural and fight it the best I can. But the thing is I'm even to the point of being so paranoid, John Boy, that I have a water filter system that we've used for over 5 years now. 5 years I've been using the water filtration system that I have, and I won't drink. We go to the store. We go to restaurants and that. I won't drink their water. I'm sorry. I won't do it. I ask them, has it been purified? Is there chlorine out of it? Is there fluoride out of it? You know,
that's my deal, man. We called them the hippies. They were sovereign citizens, and they lived out here for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
And they really were sovereign citizens because they made the news and everything with the cops surrounding their car and stuff. It was great. It was all innocent, and it was all by their constitutional rights, but the cops violated them. But anyhow, they wanted to stop at McDonald's or something to use the Wi-Fi because they didn't have any way to get on the internet. So they're at McDonald's, and they're sitting there drinking McDonald's coffee, saying, "Oh, I love this coffee and stuff." I go, you realize that it's probably unfiltered city water you're drinking, right? You're trying to keep away from the fluoride and stuff. And then she loved this one kind of, and I mean, it's a good coffee to an extent, but it's called You're Making Me Crazy.
Uh-huh.
She's like, oh, this stuff tastes so good. And I tried it. Yeah, it tastes really good. And then I looked at her and I was like, you do realize this is not natural flavorings in this to make it taste like that, right?
Exactly.
Cooking their own food and, making their own deodorant, toothpaste. You know what I mean? I mean, they were diehard.
Right. I've seen it. Little communes. But I understand.
They weren't thinking. They're going to McDonald's and getting a coffee. Well, there's fluoride in that,
Yeah. It's I understand people wanting to get back to nature. I understand that, and I understand they wanted to do things without any chemicals in them and that. And I give them a lot of respect for people that are trying to do that, but it's not easy with our society. It's scary. It's like you don't know, and then it's even sad now. You can't even go out and hunt, afraid you're going to get a disease from the freaking elk or deer or something. So that everything's being affected. Our plants. Even you were talking about it a while back, and that about the edibles on your land and that.
Oh yeah.
The insects not being as much as they used to be there, the plant foliage dying out there. Yeah, exactly. And that's what's going on. Every aspect of our life is being poisoned in some way. And if it's not, and if it's us not being poisoned, we're being controlled by our own government, and then we have the AI that you've been talking about as well too. So it's all coming together. There's going to be a point where the citizens of the United States are going to wake up. The light's going to go on, and they're going to be like, "Oh shit, what the hell am I going to do now?" And that's the point where they're going to be lost, and they're the ones that are going to be pulled off to, maybe a FEMA camp or something like that, or whatever the situation may be. Sure. And
people.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, people are not going to be able to do anything without the government's assistance. Is how they're going to feel. They need help.
Yeah, and the sad thing is we're letting them, and I can't think of any other reason why why we ain't in control of our own government. Can anybody answer that question? Why we're not in control of our own government? We are so controlled by them, John Boy, that and I've mentioned it before, we have more people employed in government than we do in the public sector. That's how bad it is. And people say, well, that's what our constitutional right is for, is to protect us, to make sure that our government doesn't get that big. But it's that big. It's bigger. Yeah. There's no easy answer to what any of these presidents or congressmen or all these people out there are trying to do, the honest ones, if there is any honest ones. They have no avenue, no way to go except follow the norm. And that's exactly what's happening. And just like the guys that were up there talking just recently in the presidential debate they just had, that was the worst size circus show I've ever seen. That was the saddest thing I've ever seen. And these are the people that want to represent you guys. And not one of you guys want to stand up and say anything except for the man that we're talking with right now. He has the right idea. Vote for John Boy. And I ain't lying, guys. I ain't lying. I'm telling you guys straight out. I will not vote for another one of these guys again. I have decided, my wife and I have decided, and a few people that I know, and that we're going to vote for John Boy. It may not get anywhere, guys, but at least we are putting it in somebody else's hands that we can at least trust and understand. But the rest of the dumbasses that are up there, John Boy, I wish more people would stand up and say something like this. Would stand up and say John Boy for president, because it's his words and how he feels about what's going on. And that's exactly why he's doing what he's doing. He's tired of the bullshit. He's tired of the crap that's going on out there. And we need to support him. Even if we don't get anywhere with it, guys, at least we did something. At least we went to the ballot and we put down John Boy for president. That would be so cool. I'd like to see it on the news one day. Yeah, we got a runner in here as well too, and his name's John Boy, and he's got a lot of people in there. What's going on here? That would be.
Hey, what if I almost got it?
That would be awesome, dude. That would be something that I would say, damn, we can make a change. We can do something. But the thing is, you're doing it. And the people are listening to what you're saying, and they want to do something as well, because they're tired too. They're tired of being stepped on and being treated like they're shit. They want to have their voice out there. They want to be able to take their kid to school and not worry about being molested by some dumbass or some cokehead or our own government, or be pulled down by the police when they didn't do anything.
Yeah,
that's the world that we want to live in. We want to live in a world where we can do this. We can talk and disagree on stuff, yet still agree that the shit that's going on in our world, we got to make a change for a better for us. But a lot of people don't want to even think. They see this thing, John Boy for president, and they think, oh, that's all funny, that's cool, But no, seriously, it's at that point where you're doing something, even if you're doing this, you're doing something.
Well, I'm just trying to open up some eyes. You know what I mean? Just get out there, be me, be real, be a true American.
Well, we're just tired. We're tired of hearing all the bullshit that's out there. We're tired of hearing the lies and everything that are out there. We want somebody that is real. You know, a lot of people went and voted for Trump because he does stand out. He does fight back. You know, he does let people know exactly what he thinks about them. So he has no problem about that. But the problem is he's not of the people. He's rich, just like the rest of them. He doesn't take any money over there. You heard him at the beginning of being president. I'm not gonna have a salary.
I got one question. Do you think Trump has ever pumped gas into any vehicle he's ever owned?
If he owned a gas station, I think he might, just to have, you know, photo op.
A picture, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think maybe something like that. But, you know, but
he's never driven in his life.
Well, yeah, but look at him. He grew up. His dad was rich as well too. You know, so come on now. So he lived a life that only we can dream of. You know, we can't dream of something like that. That's too big for us. We just want to be happy. We want to be able to enjoy ourselves. We want to walk out in the street and not have to worry about, you know, some SS coming up to us and saying, "Where's your papers?" You know, we don't. Yeah. We just want to be left alone.
Well, that happens when you get stopped by those white cars with the blue lights on top. Let me see your paper, your documentation, registration, license, insurance.
Yeah.
I just tell them, you know, check my 14th Amendment.
That's it.
I don't call them sir or nothing. I'll tell them you work for me.
That's it.
I'll tell them they're a public servant.
They're just like you and me talking together, just the same way we're talking. They should be talking to us just the same way as well. You know, and that's just the right thing to do. It's not a matter of enforcing just the law itself. It's how you enforce the law that are on the books.
You know what makes those cops act halfway right?
The backing of their government, probably.
No, when you got a video camera going. If you have a video camera going, they act a little more professional. But if you don't have one, they sit there and threaten you. And look,
Did you see that video that I did of that lady being arrested? If you didn't, you should get a chance to take a look at it.
I guess I did.
Yeah, yeah, they come storming down my big long driveway and that with the freaking sirens on and full force went to the back of my building. 4 cops jumped out of it. 2 of them jumped over the fence next door to me. They ran up to the lady in that. I come around the corner. I'm videotaping them in that.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they're all nice and calm. Even a lady cop shows up because they arrested the lady. They handcuffed her and that. There was no like vicious attack on her. There was no arguing with her or belittling her or talking smack or anything. And I think that was the reason why, and some people pointed it out to me, they think the reason why was because I had a video camera on them and I'm videotaping them.
Because you're right.
So if you get a chance, take a look at that video.
I will. When did you put it up?
Just a couple of days ago. It's only like about 5 minutes. It's not very long.
I thought I went through to try to catch up on what I missed on your channel the other day. Huh.
Yeah. No. But that's what it is. We have to police the police. Isn't that
my deal was I got stopped. Look, I almost got run over in an intersection. With the cop beside me is a double left turn lane, right? The car that come blowing through the intersection and made a right turn. I'm heading north, making a left turn at a 4-lane, intersection, right?
Right.
It's a double left turn lane. So I got a cop beside me on my right. We get the green arrow to turn left and I start pulling out. And this car is coming from the north into the intersection. Did not stop, just come right in, almost hit me. I had to hit the brakes. Then the car stops and I almost rear-ended it. And all this is happening right in front of that cop, right?
Right.
Well, the car finally gets going real slow, and then it turns into the Kmart parking lot. Well, that's where I happen to be going too. So I turned into the Kmart parking lot because I was going to ask that joker what his problem was.
Right.
Well, then I noticed the cop was turning into the parking lot too and had the blue lights on. I'm like, good, he's fixing to get that guy.
Right.
Hey, That guy drove on through the parking lot while the cops are detaining me. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Holy shit.
They're like, well, we're getting you. You almost caused an accident. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, did you not see what just happened? And that red car, it didn't know whether to go or stop. It was stopping and going, stopping and going. It didn't know if it needed to come back because he was the problem or not. And finally it drove off. And then that cop was, he was being an ass.
Oh, yeah.
So I sat there and I was being my sovereign self. He sat there and said, I'm going to get my ticket book and I'm going to write you up for everything I can. And he went to his car. Well, I grabbed my camera out and I got the video feed going. And he come back up to the car and I stuck the camera out the window and I'm like, now what's that you said? He goes, I do not recall. And that's how he said it. I do not recall.
Oh, yeah. So he started lying right off at the top, right off.
I go, so you don't recall telling me you're fixing to write me up for everything you can? I do not recall that, sir. I was like, oh my goodness.
See, and this is the reason why a lot of people that are in jail don't belong there. Exactly. Because of lying, you know what I was going to say. Yeah. This is a perfect example of the shit that we got to deal with on it every day. They take advantage of your rights. That's why it's the best thing to say. When I went through classes and everything to conceal carry and that, part of it was that when the cops come up to you and they're going to say anything to you and they start getting in your face, you shut up. You don't say one freaking word, not one thing. Because if you open your mouth, that's why they say, when they're giving you your rights, you have the right to remain silent in defense of yourself. Okay. And that's what the number one thing lawyers say that you need to do is don't say damn thing. Let them do their fucking bullshit and that, let them and tape them at the same time when they're doing the shit. So you know what your rights are. So when you go to court, you can say, I didn't say that. See, look, it's on my video. I didn't do that. See, this is what's happening. But it's sad that we have to do that now just to protect ourselves from the police.
Well, look, I went to get out of my car because I'd been driving for some hours, right? I was fixing to stretch my legs in Kmart.
Right.
And so I went ahead and went to get out of my car, and they're like, sir, get back in your vehicle. I'm like, look, dude, I'm standing in a public parking lot, beside my private vehicle. I said, I should. He goes, you're being detained. I'm like, so you're saying you're kidnapping me? He goes, no, you're being detained. I'm like, so you're kidnapping me? And he's like, no. And I'm like, yeah, you are. I had all that on tape.
Yeah. You should get that out and put it out so we can hear it.
It's been pending for over 6 years on YouTube.
Oh, they won't even let it out, huh?
Mm-mm.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, I posted it right after it happened. I'm telling you, it was 6 years. It was probably 7 years ago now. Last time I checked or I found it, it said pending.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Well, they don't want you to say. They don't want the truth out there, John, and that's what it is. It's not about your rights anymore. It's about what they want.
Your rights
don't matter.
They charged me for spinning tires, almost causing an accident, tailgating, and window tint.
And window tint, they had to do that one, didn't they?
I lost. Oh. I went to court. The daggum cop, the judge called him. They're like, well, he's on the phone with somebody right now. So the judge kind of put it off for a minute. Then he called the cop again. Then the cop is busy in the hallway right now.
Really?
Now, wait some more. And then they called for that cop again. And they're like, well, he had to go on a call. So the judge said, well, I rule guilty. And I'm like, hold on. I have a right to a jury trial. He goes, guilty. And then
you have a right to your accuser to be present at the time.
Yeah. You know what the judge did? He practiced law from the bench. I did not enter any plea. I was not entering any plea. I was going to take it to jury trial.
Really? They didn't even give you that option.
I didn't get it to go to. He called me guilty then and there, and it was over with. And I'm like, no, I'm not saying. I know, I'm not. No.
Your rights were taken away from you because you have to be. If you don't agree with what's happening, you can appeal it as well too, and you can say that you want this to be in the Supreme Court or whatever, or whatever court, because that guy was not present. Because words speak louder than paper, and judges know that. Judges know that. How he can make a decision without that guy being there? That's bullshit.
The judge read in the report. It says here you squealed tires, and I looked at the judge and I go, I know. I said I didn't. Right. So wouldn't that give you more reason to have the cop come in there?
Exactly, because it's his word against yours. See, that's what I'm saying. Too many people have been locked up in jail for stupid shit like this.
I'm in a 2002 Cavalier, right beside a cop at a red light. You think I would be spinning tires?
I know.
I mean, come on. I might be stupid, but I'm not that stupid.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of glad they have cameras on them now. If only they just don't turn it off, click, click, and just turn it off while they're doing it.
Their windows were tinted darker than mine.
Oh, yeah, they are.
And they said they were government exempt. So I said, y'all are above the law. I got that on tape. And they're like, no, we're not above the law. I go, well, what do you think exempt means? That law does not apply to you. That means you're above the law.
That's right. That's right. They don't know.
No.
They don't. They've been indoctrinated into the system so tight that they freaking don't know what to do unless their government tells them what to do. And that's the scary part. It's just like the sheriff's departments that we have here in Colorado. And we had that big old thing going on. We had what was it, Magpul, the magazine, and they were telling them that they're not going to be able to sell them here anymore. So they went to another state. They left and went to another state in that. But it doesn't help us. It doesn't help any of us in this situation that we're going through right now. Your rights were taken from you for a piece of paper that it was written on, not by the word, not by the cop, but by the paper itself. Where's that's not proof. That's hearsay.
Exactly.
That's his word against yours. And when you go to court, you have to have the accuser there with you, John.
Well, see, the accuser already knew I had him on tape. He already knew that I told him I will take it to the Supreme Court. I mean, I told him all that. It's all on the video.
All right.
So he's scared to death to come in that courtroom.
Well, yeah.
So that judge basically covered for him by practicing law.
Exactly, and they played it for their benefit, not for yours. See, the court is supposed to be a benefit for you. If you're being accused for something that you didn't do wrong or you did wrong, they are there to discern and find the truth. Well, how can you find the truth if it's just a piece of paper written by a cop that's not even there to speak his words? See, this is what's going on with our society. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's fact. We see it. It happened to you, John Boy. Your rights were taken from you without your peers being there to vote on it to see if they feel that you're guilty about something. And you didn't, and your accuser didn't even show up in court to do it. So that judge took his authority and went with the cops version instead of hearing anything from you.
It's called practicing law from the bench, and it will get you disbarred.
That's it. But it doesn't work that way.
No.
It only works for them, not for us, only for them. And as long as we continue and that we acknowledge what they're doing as being okay, it's not going to stop. Your life is important. My life is important. Everybody out there on chat, their lives are important as well. And we have to stick together and fight this kind of shit that keeps on going on like you did. You stood up, you took a camera, you did what you had to do. I grabbed that camera with that lady in the back just to keep an eye and see what's going on over here, see what's happening because I wanted to report it and put it on YouTube, Yeah. So, this is the stuff that we have to do. We have to make them stands. And that's what I ask and I encourage each of you that are out there. And I know a lot of you are doing it now, but there's so many out there that don't know about this, that we need to get this word to them. We need to tell them your constitutional rights are, that's the best word I can give for it. It doesn't exist anymore. But it will exist if we stand up and do something like, like I keep on saying, like Hong Kong and the yellow vests and them, unless we make a stand, there's nothing we're going to do it. And Hong Kong just freaks me out the most, though, because this kid was early 20s that started this. And he had over 1 million and some odd people standing there saying, we ain't putting up with this shit. We allow you to do this. And that's what we need to do here in this country. But the problem is how do we do it?
It's almost
I keep saying it over and over. I know people are like, yeah, it's the same old thing. People's Last Stand is saying the same stuff over and over. And I'm going to, guys, because we have to do something about it. I'm not saying be violent, but we got to do something.
Well, our problem is if we did try to stand up for our rights and did get anything organized in any kind of fashion, the mainstream media would have us labeled as some sort of crazy group, and then the rest of the world would go, I don't want to be part of that, or, the rest of the country. Right. So they automatically stop the amount of people that's going to come into the cause.
Right, and that's fine. But how many of us would be doing this live at the same time? They would have to shut down everybody that's doing this. They would have to.
If we got together physically, like Hong Kong,
it can be
violent. Yeah, I'm talking about just the physical aspect of the amount of people. If we could get that people group together, they would label us something.
Of course they would. Of course they would, and that's typical of control. Find anything we can find out about them. Let's do what we can to disgrace them. Let's do disinformation. And that video I told you that I seen not too long ago, that lady that was on stage was making a speech in some not courthouse, but a little small town situation, and she says the government has the right to use propaganda against us and lie to us. They have the right. It's in their books.
That was the same day I put that video out. I got the hate strike on. That video said the same thing that woman just said.
But they did. But nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to acknowledge it. It goes in one ear. Yeah, that's really bad, And then the next day they're just off doing the same stuff that they do every day.
You tell a lie long enough, it will become the truth.
You bet your ass. Excuse my French, but you're right, 100% on that. We are being attacked not only mentally, but physically, just like what happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stuff that they don't want to let out. They don't want us to organize. They don't want us to come together and get the information and do the research and pull it all together and say, aha, we were right.
Yeah,
they don't want us to get there, John Boy.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say that stuff that happened with us, that was only dealing with big YouTube channels. Yeah. That wasn't the government. Exactly. That was just a YouTube channel.
Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. It's a bunch of bull. And then we have to deal with it and try to make us understand that this is not a fight against just YouTube. This is a fight against our souls, our hopes, our dreams, our life. This is what it is.
Yeah, it's not that we're anti-government.
No, not at all.
We're freedom fighters.
That's right. And that's exactly what we've become. And this is the only way that we can do it right now, because we need to organize, guys. We need to come together, and we need to say, okay, let's call our friends together, the ones that believe the same thing that we believe. Let's see if we can get them together. Let's see if we can all get this together and make a stand, because there are millions of us out there that know what our government has done to us, and they know it, and they're afraid to make a stand because they don't want to do it by themselves. They're afraid for their families. They're afraid what's going to happen to them physically, mentally, what could happen. And it's always that possibility. But the thing is when we had to use our muskets to protect our homeland, we did what we had to do in our country. And that's exactly what we have to do now. I'm not saying use the gun. I'm not saying violence. I'm saying we could stop so much with what's going on just by us doing doing a strikeout, a strike on yeah, or yeah, exactly.
Our words.
Yeah, we've got to do it, and we've got to stand out and say you're important. It doesn't matter if you're black, if you're white, if you're brown, or whatever color or anything. We do not see that color. I do not see that color. I see you as an individual, and I don't categorize you because of the color of your skin, and I don't categorize you because of your difference of opinions. But we do have something in common, and that common link is that our rights are being taken away from us day by day by day by day, and we are not doing anything about it. We are trying to get you guys to understand, please, for your family's sake and for your lives, you've got to do something. You've got to make a stand. You've got to pull your family. You've got to protect them, because they are poisoning you in every way, mentally, physically, spiritually. They are tearing us down, and we know it, but nobody is doing anything.
Our biggest problem, and where they're doing it the worst at, is the children. They're the easiest to manipulate.
Amen, brother.
Have better control of later.
You betcha. And that's how they do it.
Mm-hmm.
You seen what happened with the Germans when they did with the children. They got the children special group for them, their little force. You know, they indoctrinated the children. The children were actually carrying guns and parading, and everything was okay and stuff. He led everybody into the belief that he's going to help them, and he's going to do this and he's going to do that. Yet he had his own agenda of what he wanted to do by wiping out a whole generations of people and taking control of the world. And that's exactly what's happening within our own country. If you guys don't see that happening, you've got to get back into your history books and read that stuff. What's going on during them times is happening right now. It's all undercover, guys. It's all undercover. It's all being done with the CIA, FBI, police, our own government. It's all being used against us one form or another to keep us under control and buy their products and do what they want.
And the FBI and the CIA and all them, they are divided between themselves too. Look at that. I mean, even the powers are divided.
Right. I'm telling you.
They don't know what the other's doing.
Yeah. Well, look at this. I just heard this thing just recently. I think I'm not sure if the Carolinas or what, just off the ocean in there. There's a little island there, and I think it starts with a K. I can't remember what it is. But during the storms that we had and everything, the people had to evacuate from there. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And what is it? National Guard was there. And FEMA came in and started going into houses. They didn't go into everybody's houses. They went into people's houses that had guns, and were taking the guns away from the people. But the army in that said, "What are you doing? No," and they chased them off. You can't do that. So then this just happened, guys. This just happened. Please research it. Look for it. I found it. You can too. Research it. It just happened. So
the first thing they're doing is coming in and taking guns.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. Just like they did with Katrina. When they came in, they took the guns away from the people as well too, because they were afraid they were going to get shot at. They were there to just. It's all for their protection and not for our protection.
See, that's
no, you've seen what happened inside the big stadiums with women being raped and attacked and everything, and they did nothing, and no water supplies, nothing for these people, and yet it was okay. When I first started dealing with the Katrina issue and that, I was running a hotel, and we had people from the Katrina situation in my hotel living, and they were being paid by the government. It was paying their tab. Okay, and the stories that I heard, them taking the guns, them of hitting people and pushing people and being authoritative, like you would, I mean, just like Nazi kind of situation stuff going on. Just outright, you're wrong no matter what. We're going to do what we have to do. We're the army. We're taking control of the whole situation, and that's it.
Well, don't I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't I remember seeing some footage of, like, I don't know if it was cops or the National Guard or somebody, but they're shooting at the people trying to go across the bridge?
Yeah, exactly. Well, what about, did you see the video on that little old lady that they tackled to the ground that had a gun? Oh, yeah. No. Get a chance. Take a look at the video of Katrina, the old lady being knocked down to the ground by the police because she had a gun. They were there to take the gun from her.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a video. It's on YouTube. But this is the stuff that's happening every day, and people are turning their heads on it and putting their heads in the sand. You know, and I'm like you, John Boy. I call it out the way I see it. You know, if I see the wrong, I'm gonna say something. If I see somebody doing wrong to somebody, I'm gonna do something about it. I'm not gonna just sit there. I can't do it no more. And everybody out there is at this point as well too, but they're not doing anything and they're not saying anything because they don't know how to organize. They don't know how to get things together and that. But we can do this. We can make a little stand here, and we can say we're not going to put up with this shit no more, guys. We're not going to deal with it no more. We're here to express our feelings in regards to what you're doing to us, and we're going to lay it out on the line and tell everybody this is what you're doing. And I hope it gets like national. It would be nice to get national information on stuff like this, but we can't do anything unless we come together because they're coming together. You know, and they've come together to work against us. So we need to come together to fight all this garbage that they're pushing at us, and make statements of saying we're not going to stand by anymore. We can't. But these are just my opinions, guys. These are just my words about how I feel about the stuff. I know all of you have different opinions and views as well.
You're gonna make me have to get my campaign going strong again.
Well,
I kind of slacked off for a little while.
Well, John Boy, and I give congrats to anybody that gets up and does something like that and says something like that. It may be a joke. Maybe people may think it's a joke or something, but in reality, that's how you're feeling, and feelings matter because they make people get up and do something. And then by you doing that, that's your way of saying I'm not taking it no more. I've got to do something. Let's do something. And your way of doing it is one way of doing it. But people got to do the same thing. People got to make baby steps if they have to, but they've got to come together. They've got to get in touch with people like you and me and Enlightened and Jenny B and all these guys that are here right now on the channel, on this channel right now on chat and that. And these people can get out there and they can tell the world what's going on and what we need to do. But the hardest thing to do is to get people, well, I got to go to work. I got a family I got to take care of. We all do. And I understand that most definitely. I understand that, people. But your lives are important. And this is not fear porn, guys. This is not fear porn that we're saying to you or anything like this at all. This is the reality of what's going on in our world right now. And if you and I know you guys have seen this. I know all of you have seen this. Your voices are the only thing that's going to make a change in this world. So whatever you guys can do on your channels and that, get that rhetoric up. Start planting seeds. Push it hard and say, this is what we're trying to do. Let's do something if we're going to do something. It's nice
that John Boy 2020.
That's it. That's it. But we can't do it unless we all start working together. You see other channels, and it cracks me up on one channel that's really big right now. And a lot of people are on that channel. You know who I'm talking about, John Boy.
Yeah.
And look at what following that group has. We could do the same thing here, but we don't need a leader. We need people that have minds, people that have hopes and dreams for their families. We cannot and sustain this world like the way it is right now. We need you. I plead with you all. We need you. Don't give up on what your dreams are for your family and that, and your friends and your neighbors, because we all are in the same boat together. And this is not fake news. This is reality.
Yeah.
If you sit there and you watch TV and you see what's going on, this is make believe. These are not people that you should be following, because if you're following and believing what they're saying on these shows and stuff and everything, then you're just falling into what the government and all these entities that want us to fall into. You've got to stop believing the stuff they're saying. They're saying that your life doesn't matter anymore. Their lives matter. Come watch me. Come watch me. You know? And that's how we live in our lives, vicariously through actors and presidents, and and all that. That's how we're living our lives. We're not living our lives, our true lives of who we really are.
And see, that's
important.
That's what was conflicting on this YouTube channel. I don't want everybody, I'm not going, look at me. But when you have a channel, you are the focus.
That is.
Whether you want to be or not.
That is.
So therefore, I try to make this basically a self-serve channel. You know what I mean? I'm spitting the truth out and giving my opinion.
Right. And
y'all can take it any way you want or whatever. But
exactly.
I'm not lying, and it's not fear porn. It's the truth. We have lost our rights. The AI is taking over and all sorts of stuff. And this ain't no lie.
Right.
Because people don't want to believe it.
But
it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. It's unbelievable.
It is. When your own government is telling you, no, that ain't nothing.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing. We're right, they're wrong. Because we're smarter than them. We have more understanding about what's happening in the world than they do. We're really come and live in life.
You saw me do that. You didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it with your own eyes, and they'll tell you didn't see it.
I know. And that's exactly what's happening. And they're making people believe this stuff.
Yeah. Tell a lie long enough, it becomes the truth.
And that's the sad part. That's why I keep on when I come on my channel on that, and I'm a procrastinator like you would not believe sometimes.
Oh,
I say I'm going to do what I can and do this and do that, and yet I come back on my channel on that, and I do little things here and there and that. Mm-hmm. It's not what I want. That's not quite what I want. What I want is I want to be able to get on here and be able to have a panel just like we're doing now, and be able to discuss these situations that are happening to us, and see if we can come up with an answer to the problem as a whole, not just like you and me, but I'm talking as a whole, as the same people that believe what we believe and have researched and found out the same information.
Well, for the benefit of all.
Yes.
Not just us, everyone.
That's it. If a child is starving out in the street, are you going to give him some food?
Mm-hmm. Food, shelter, whatever that child needs.
Exactly. But our government has turned around and said, no, let them depend on us. We'll go ahead and give them food stamps and Medicaid and all this other different stuff. And then they can rely on us even more. And then we'll give them a cell phone too, free of charge, And so it's like, where do you think they're going to go? They're going to go to the government because they're getting the free stuff and everything, but it has a high price tag on it for you guys, a very big high price, and that's your life, your liberty, your way of, your freedoms, your everything.
You know what? Oh, go ahead.
But doing this is just not us just coming out here and just talking about, hey, how's your day going, kind of stuff and everything. It's nice to do that, and I enjoy doing that with you guys too. It's very nice, but on a serious end, we need to pull together. And there's a lot of you out there that are on chat right now that I see right now that have addressed these same issues as well too, and have said the same stuff, and so they got good minds. They've done their research too, so they know. So why can't we come together? Is it because different opinions? You don't like what somebody looks like, or it's a
lot of problem. Look, it's peer pressure, because there's not a vast majority of people that are even concerned about it. No. And the ones that are concerned are scared to let the other ones that are not concerned know about it, because then they'll get ridiculed.
Right. And it's caused by our own government saying, those guys on YouTube that are talking about conspiracy theories and that they're little whack jobs, aren't they? That's how I see it. The way they're thinking, or they're saying, "Oh shit, they're getting close. Something's going on here. They're organizing. Something's happening here. We need to pay attention to these guys, you know? So when that happens, they start doing stuff. Copyright infringement, take away your rights. Send somebody out to visit John Boy at his place, you know? All this kind of
threatening email.
Exactly.
Telling you where you live.
Exactly.
And you don't know who the people are.
I don't, and that's the problem. And see, but it's okay. It's okay, guys. You know, we're men. We can handle this. We could take this. We could deal with it. That's no problem. But what the issue that we got to deal with out there is going to be 100 times worse. It's going to be 100 times worse. And I'm not sugarcoating it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be, you know, you're going to be called names. You're going to be treated with disrespect and that. But you have to stick up for what is right. That's who we are. It's not a game, guys. It's real. It's life.
I'm going to tell you something. If we can get something together, let's say the ball has started rolling and people are coming together, guess what they'll do? They'll cut the power grid. They'll make the shit hit the fan. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. But if you have 1 million people, they can't stop it by word, because there's always ways of doing it. There's always ways. There was ways to do it before this came in. So if they fought back then with the situations that were going on, why can't we do it now? You know, and I hear it all the time from people saying that, you know, I just don't got the time. What do you mean you ain't got the time? You got time to spend 15, 20 minutes and get on YouTube and start pushing these issues about getting organized and dealing with the situations. 15 minutes out of your life to do a short video on YouTube saying this is bullshit that's happening to us. We need to argue. We need not argue about this situation. We need to come together and work together.
Exactly.
And that's what we need to do, because the only things that are stopping us is us, guys. And we can do it. We can. Exactly. But the thing is starting. Where do we start?
That's
Who do we
what
talk
I've been.
to?
Well, that's why I started the John Boy for President. I was like, well,
okay. So let's do this. This is just my opinion. It may be crazy.
I'm all ears.
All right. Let's go ahead and start doing this. Let's start doing videos on regards to President Trump to get out of there, and that we're going to pull in, and we're going to have our own separate from our own government, our own election.
Oh no,
that would freak people out if we did something like that.
Well, I thought about doing that. Have a YouTube election.
Well,
There's nobody else running on YouTube.
That's right, and it doesn't matter.
I've already won.
But it doesn't matter. But what we do is we make sure the information that we're giving is what we are all fighting against.
Right.
That's what the main thing that we have to deal with. Because you can have John Boy here on the show pushing for presidency, and we could have some Joe Blow out there doing it as well too. But the thing is, it doesn't matter which one we get out there, as long as they're all following exactly the same thing that we're all talking about.
People's rights.
Yeah, exactly. Your rights are the most important thing, and they're being taken away. But we can do this. It's not hard, guys. It's not difficult to do a 15-minute video saying, hey, let's get John Boy as president. This is the reason why we're going to have John Boy for president.
Well, you know what? I had the biggest platform that was they promised they were gonna,
I remember
out there.
I heard that video. I heard that recording.
Anybody that hadn't heard that recording of that conversation, that oral contract, men to men words.
Right. Which a lot of men don't do anymore, like I was saying, which is all just talk. That's all it is from them.
And that big channel, he did not do anything he promised to do.
Right. But the thing is we don't need to go to that. We don't need to do what he's doing. What we need to do is we need to organize and really try to make a difference. I'm not talking about just making a movement of some kind. I'm talking about actually getting on here and getting John Boy's name in there as for president. This crap about having to have $1 million or some odd dollars to be president is bullshit.
Yeah, all Americans are eligible for presidency.
Yeah, but you have to run. You have to have a certain amount of money.
Didn't used to in the old days.
No, it didn't. The problem is it's money. They want somebody in that has money, that has clout, so that they can work with them. And you know, and that's the problem. We don't want somebody like that. We want somebody in there that's honest and telling the truth exactly the way it is, not the bullshit to do it.
And knows how much a penny is worth. These people don't even know how much $100 bill is worth. $100 bill is a penny to them.
That's it. That's it.
Come on.
But the reality is me and you and maybe a few other people are going to go ahead and do something. You watch. Only a few of us will do it, because that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a video on John Boy for president.
All right.
And we're going to do that. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to say exactly what I'm saying now in regards to all the stuff that we've been talking about tonight and what John Boy stands for. So we got to do that.
Campaign ads, individual campaign ads. Why John Boy should be president.
That's it. And that's what we need to do. And we need to put it out there. And if they start attacking us on this, then we know we hit a nerve again.
Well, let me ask you something. How could we start a forum where people can start, putting their name, you know what I mean? What am I trying to say?
A petition?
Yeah, where I can get enough names, I can go in there and say, "Hey, look, these people want me to run for president."
Well, we could set. There's a thing on here, and I was turned on to this. Thank God, it was from Jenny B.
Uh-huh.
There's a thing on the internet where you can go on there and you can actually do this.
Really?
You can actually set it up. Yeah, you can actually set it up in that a petition stating this information in that this so many followers on YouTube or whatever. And we're presenting this to our government saying, hey, we want him in there.
Would you help me work on that?
You betcha. I'll do it. It. And then for the simple reason is this, John Boy, we out here in the community see, and we come to your channel and we listen. And it's not only because it's a great channel. I mean, and you're a good moderator, a good host in that. It's because you're giving information that's happening to you at the same time too. And you see what's happening, and you know what's happening in the world. What we need, but it's not difficult, guys. It's only a few minutes out of your time to go to a petition and just put your name on it, and that's it. And then at the same time make a 15-minute video or something, and pushing the issue in regards we need somebody else up on that stage instead of who we got now.
Hell, it can be a 1-minute video.
That's it.
It doesn't.
Just push it out and just push it out. And that's
and hashtag it John Boy 2020 and John Boy #4 president.
Exactly.
That's how I've been hashtagging things.
And it's simple and easy to do. Nobody on this channel is happy about what's going on in the government right now. Not one person. That's why they're here. Because they want to hear the truth, and they want to come around like-minded people that are thinking the same freaking things that's going on in the world right now. They're thinking the same thing that we're thinking. But the thing is we need to make a stand in some place on this. And right now, the only thing I can think of right now is that we do this. A petition would be a great way to start. Also get on there, and I'll find it, John Boy, or Jenny B, if you still have that information in that, please let me know exactly where that is, so that we can start doing a petition type situation on that. And then we can go ahead and start doing videos, pushing the issue of John Boy. And that if they can push it, the stuff here on there with their ads and that.
Yeah.
I seen a friend of mine has one on his Joe Biden. Biden's on there on his ad on his channel, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me, but that's the way it is. So, but we can do this, guys. There's no reason why you guys are sitting out there saying, well, the government is doing this to us and they're doing that to us and that, and nobody's listening. I'm listening. John Boy's listening. And I know each and every one of you in your heart know what's right from wrong. And what's wrong is this government is taking advantage of us, and they're hurting us. They're hurting your children. They're hurting your families. They're hurting our air, our water, our land, everything for the buck.
Everything. It's crazy.
That's what it comes down to. It's not a game anymore. It's not a game we're playing. They're playing the game with us. And what we're doing is we're calling them on it. We're saying, you're full of shit.
Yeah.
stand up, act like a man, act like a woman. You represent us. Stand up and do something about what we're asking you to do. And they don't have enough guts to do it because they would lose the money that's going in their pockets right now. That's the reason why they're not doing it, because they're looking out for themselves and not for you. They'd rather put you on welfare and that and control you instead of you coming out and talking and saying something that's positive. That's a positive way for us to be able to live our lives. And we can't do it. We can't do it unless we organize and come together. I know it's strange and it's a weird topic for us to be discussing in that, but our constitutional rights are gone. And John Boy is telling the truth when he says they're using it against us. They're changing the words to make it suit them and not us. Every little amendment that they add to it, any the little words that they add to it or change on it, destroys our lives and our Constitution. You have a right. You have a right to live free, and that's exactly what it is. You have the right to live free.
You see the question up here: am I going to ban abortions and chemtrails? Yes, but there'll be some back alley abortion clinics, and when they get caught, they'll get life in prison.
Right.
And the chemtrails,
it's got to stop.
They got to stop.
They got to stop doing it.
And if our country is not in control of these chemtrails, I will order the planes to be shot down.
That's right.
I mean, come on.
You bet your ass it's our life against their life.
Whoever's
that's what it's coming down to.
That crap, I want them to come out and show their face. You know what I mean? I'll shoot the planes down.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is nobody's willing to stand up and do nothing about anything. And it's to that point right now why we have to get on here and I have to come out here and I have to say this kind of stuff. Believe me, guys, I don't ever like to. I'm not a confrontational person at all, but I'm fed up with coming out on YouTube, and I have all my friends that are out there, and I go to their channels and I see them hurting inside, because of what this government is doing to our children and to our families and everything. I can't stand to sit by and do nothing anymore. I'm not talking violence. I'm talking about actually making some changes. It's not hard. We just got to get organized. That's all we have to do.
And Anime, you're saying, oh dear, I wish I could change your mind on abortion. Well, the only way to stop abortion is for people to stop having sex. If they don't want to have a kid, don't have sex, dadgummit. It's called what's it called? Abstinence.
Yeah,
I've been without it so long, I forgot how to pronounce it.
At the same time, too, Anime, in regards to that as well, I understand how you feel about that. I seriously do, because I've seen it in my own family, and I don't like it myself either. But the thing is I understand it under certain circumstances. The mother's life or something like that is in jeopardy. She's going to die or something like that. Or in maybe even some cases in cases of rape and stuff like that. I know it's a hard subject. It is, but we have to do. Well, what about IUDs?
Birth control's fine.
That's fine. But if people want to have families, that's their own business, and that's cool. And they want to raise children, that's cool. But why take a child and away from people like me? Okay, and I'm gonna put my personal stuff on here right now. We can't have kids, and we want to adopt, but we can't. But we see all the kids dying and stuff and everything because of abortions and that. It'd be so simple just to put them up for abortion. That's the way that people want to do it. They just throw abortion, but it's not. We're talking about a child. Child is heartbeat. No, it's at time of conception. That's my belief. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody out there. That's just my belief. But each and one of us
have conception for a reason.
But the thing is this: we can come together and we can discuss these issues and we can walk away all happy. We can do it. But it takes real guts to be able to work some of these situations out. Our government won't do it. We may have different opinions, but we have so many different opinions and so many different views that we can look at, and we can say, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. Let's work it together. Let's work it as a team. Let's do what's right for our children and our families. We have so much stuff that's going on that it's unbelievable. The amount of children that are dying. I put up that John Boy and I talked about it a while back about the children that were dying just from abortions. And then they want to do more abortions, even a longer term, just right after they're being born.
Yeah, born alive.
But that's the scary part about it. But I understand how you feel. It's a hard situation. It's a hard thing to figure out what to do. But it's not only a one-sided situation. There's so many different views. There's so many different opinions. We have to come together and say, look, we have to work it together and do this. We can't do it with the government anymore because they don't care. They're there for the money. We have to solve these problems ourselves out here. And that's why doing something like this, by getting John Boy up there and working with groups to figure out, like you, Anime, come together and talk and let's figure this out ourselves, that we can come together and present this information to our own government. A petition form or write a bill and get it, try to get it in there. Whatever we've got to do, but we've got to come together as a nation and work together as human beings, not as animals. We're not animals to that point where we have to fight and kill to survive. We don't need to live like that anymore. We're human beings with that are in our own universe or wherever we're at in the universe, and that we're barely trying to figure out who we are individually. Try to figure out a problem of just abortion. That's a whole big can of worms that I'm not sure anybody wants to open. But we can do it. We can come to an understanding between everybody. But the problem is nobody wants to stand up and do anything about it. But you're doing it. Anime's doing it right now, just by what she said. John Boy, I wish I could change your mind on that. That's how you do it. Exactly, Anime. Your voice is important. Your words are important. You have the right to say what you want to say in that.
My problem is seeing a live baby be born and taken out of a woman and then being killed.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
Right.
How they can justify that, I have not got a clue.
But in the sad thing about it is when they what happens to the child after the child is aborted? John Boy, do you know?
I think that's part of the stem cell research, because look, they just had a commercial come out here on TV for some.
Why do you think they did? Why do you think they allow abortions, John Boy?
To feed the elite.
To do experiments on the fetuses and stuff, and do the different things that they want to do.
But look,
plus all the other stuff that John Boy's talking about.
We've got a medical center up here that's got an advertisement out, and they don't say exactly what it is, but they call it, do you have joint pain and this and that, talking about all these pains, right? They go, we've got a serum that will help with that. It's called, how did they say it? But basically it's stem cells.
Right.
But they're calling it something else.
Right.
And they're being very vague about it, but they're telling you all the benefits that it do. And then they're telling you to come by and see and check it out.
Right.
I mean, it's like a car commercial for the medical field now.
Exactly. Lawyers do
the stem cell now.
Yeah. Well, they use your own cells to help repair your knee. So it's gone into the medical field, and fetuses are expensive money, and they're making money on it.
Well, I think the fetuses are able to be used. Well, what I was going to say, I think the fetuses are probably where they can be used on everybody.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it. Yeah, but the thing is, it's not for us. It's for nefarious reasons.
Right.
It's for their gain, their control. It's just like we were talking about pharma itself. They have cures, you guys. It's called not taking the shit they're giving you. That's the cure. Okay? I understand people have to get on certain medications to keep them alive. I understand that. But still, there's got to be some other way of doing this. Millions and millions of dollars is going into the government. So you think that they don't have ways of taking care of this situation that we're going through with all the sick people? We're sick because of the medications and the shit they're doing to us.
Right.
And that's exactly what they're doing to us. And coming together like this, we got what? We got 19 people in the show right now. And if these 19 people got out and they put some shows out and their friends saw them show and they passed that show out, or they made a video of themselves, and you see what I'm saying? One did
Right.
one, that goes to 2, 2 to 4, 8, 16. You just keep on doing it. You just keep on doing it. You tell your friends, please just put this on your channel. You know, put it on your channel at least. If you don't want to do a video, at least put it on a channel. We're talking about John Boy being president. And, you know, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to organize. We're trying to get this together so that we can make some kind of change ourselves. And we're not depending on the government. We're not depending on anybody. We're depending on you, the people, not government, the people. And we have to do something. Your life, your children, and everybody you know is important to you. And I understand.
We, the people, are the government, but they won't let us exercise our voice.
Right. They won't, because if you do it, oh no, you're a terrorist. You're a homegrown terrorist.
Yeah.
You know. Can you imagine being called?
How they labeled that.
Can you imagine being called that? That's what we are. That's what they're calling us. And you're not doing nothing. That's why I'm saying we've got to do something. You know, what does the way say here? Oh, I missed that one. The way was saying what?
I'll get it back up. Wait a minute. Do I have it? You can't buy a house.
Yeah. You can't buy a house, a car, land, etc. without a legal name. The legal name is, what is that called?
The linchpin.
To the whole. Yeah.
I guess construct.
Well, yeah, you're exactly right. You're 100%. See, but that's what I'm talking about. You can't. Are you going to pay freaking taxes on your car every year?
Hey, because they do in some states.
Yeah, well, they do here.
You pay you
pay to get your car licensed.
You pay a certain percentage of the worth of the vehicle at the end of the year. Your newest vehicle.
Right. So you're paying on anything and everything that's out there, and you get no benefit from this.
Arkansas does that.
Except bigger government in that. But this is the stuff that's happening. We're not living in the real world. We're living in another reality. That's what's going on. The reality that we're living in is not what it's supposed to be. It's not. It is being controlled by the words that are coming out of our government, the words that are coming out of the TV, the stereo system in that. I'm telling you how to live. If you don't have the best kind of shoes in that, then you're not hip. You know, you're not part of the group. You know, you got to do this, you got to do that. You know, all this different stuff. It's bull, is what it is. It's propaganda. That's how advertising works.
Yeah, when I was in school,
you to feel bad for something that's really good and make your parents feel guilty that they go out and buy it for you.
If you didn't have the alligator or the Jordache jeans, you won with the it crowd. Well, guess what? I won with the it crowd.
See?
I didn't
but
have
our government wants
and Nikes.
Right. But the government wants us all to be one group. Poor, stupid, and work for them to make money.
Yeah, under control.
And that's what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. It's nuts. We have our own national guards in our own states and they don't even stand up for what's right. We have police to take the oaths, and we have the military taking the oath, and they're not living up to what they said they're going to do.
Hey, I wasn't going to live up to one part of that oath when I took it.
What's that part?
Die for this country. I wasn't going to do that.
I won't die for the country, but I will die for the people.
Yeah, if I had a comrade beside me, if I could, if I was in a situation in battle, I would save a fellow, member of mine.
You betcha.
But I'm not gonna. If they send me on a suicide mission, they're gonna have to put me in a brig.
That's it. But the thing is we don't stand with each other anymore, John Boy. We don't stand and try to understand and comprehend what another person is going through. We say, "Oh, that's not my business." Well, it is your business. Humanity is your business. It's important that we as a nation come together as human beings, not as a Republican or Democrat or socialist or what, nationalist or whatever. This is not anymore about this. This is about what's right from wrong. But that's what the problem is.
Coming together as a people and whole,
Yeah. But the problem is as long as they have control and continue to push out their propaganda and their bullshit and their poison to us, this is going to continue. So again, I ask you, make a short video, guys. Yeah. It doesn't have to be for John Boy, but it can be for what's right out there, what we should be doing, and taking care of our families and how to treat each other as humans instead of animals. But the government has made us like this. They have made us like this. They have made the black community like that. Everybody says they're stereotyped. No, they're not stereotyped. It's a fact what the government has done to the black community, the white community, the brown community. They have put this stuff in there. They have caused this problem. Yet they say we're the ones that caused this problem, and it's called racism. Wrong. Yeah. It's not racism. It's divide and conquer. They are dividing us to conquer us. And that's the way to do it, is to get the people to fight among each other. We can't do that no more.
Nope.
You and me and John Boy and everybody in chat, you all know what the truth is. It can't be hidden anymore. And if we can't get the right truth, then we have to fight for the right truth. Them guys in Hong Kong, the guys in France and that, yellow vests and that, they all had great reasons for what they did. But they stopped. A lot of them have stopped fighting the fight once they got what they want. And this is not what we want. This needs to be a continuous thing to fight for our rights on every part of our lives. It's not one little part of telling the government, yeah, we don't want you to be watching us anymore. It's not only that, it's all the other stuff as well. So it's not like we can go in there and say, well, you can't do this, you can't do this and do this anymore. We're going to fight against it. Well, sure, they'll say, yeah, let's go ahead and work it out. But they got all this other stuff still going on at the same time. You're still getting stuck in the trap because we get what we want and then we walk off and not do any more. But it can't be like that anymore. We've got to come together. We've got to be as one. We've got to stand behind something. And right now, the best thing for us to stand behind is John Boy for president. That's what we need to do.
I know it sounds crazy.
It does. It does sound crazy. But this is how crazy things get done. Exactly. This is how they get done, is by somebody standing up and doing something about it. Not just talking about it, but doing it. By doing it and getting out and just at least doing a video saying John Boy for president. Or go look at John Boy's video. Check it out. Keep pushing it. Share it. Do everything you can. But at the same time, push the issue that we want John Boy for president, and that's what we want to do. If that's what you want to do. I'm not telling you to do. I'm saying if that's what you want to do. But those that believe that there is a need to be a big change, we have to do it now.
Exactly.
Because and I'm saying in the next couple of years, it's going to be even worse. We won't have this. We most likely won't have this. We will be all considered traitors. That's pretty much about what it's going to be. And it's going to be us against them, telling them they're wrong when the proof is right in front of their faces, and they don't want to even acknowledge it.
So what we got? 14 months before. Wait a minute, is it 14? Yeah, we got 14 months for the election, right?
what is it, November?
Yeah.
November, right? When they're
Yeah.
supposed to be starting that, yeah. But
So we still got a little over a year to try to get this going, to try to open up some eyes and let the American people see they've lost their rights.
right, but people, like I said, a lot of people don't want to do something like this because they don't want it to fall on their families. But it's going to fall on your family sooner or later. Would you rather have somebody that's working for you, or would you rather have somebody that's making agendas that's working against you, that's making your life more miserable? You know,
but it's making theirs a whole lot better.
Exactly. So there's a time for each one of us in our own lives where we have to stand up, and I'm talking to the men right now, where we have to stand up and we have to say, we're Christian people. This is what we believe, and we believe that you're wrong in how you're treating us, and that we need a better voice for the people because we're not getting the voice in government that we have now. We need a man that's going to stand there and hear us and actually hear what we're saying and actually understand what's happening, because he's not separate from us. He's part of us. John Boy's part of us right now. He's not a government official like all these ones that are out there, or any of them that are running for government. He's separate from it. The president that we have currently it was separate, but at what point? Or was it a plan for him to be there already? Who knows? We don't know because we weren't there.
Honestly, I've never been political. No, I have my views on the politics, but I've never been a political person. You know what I mean?
Right.
And for me to sit there and decide to do something like this is pretty bad, because, I mean, I've had enough of what's going on. And, you know, like you said, my own personal experiences with my rights being stomped on and stuff.
Right.
It's kind of led me here. But what really got me to cooking, you remember the, what they call him, the free man? Remember that guy that got in all that trouble for fishing? Because he didn't have a license? You don't remember that? That's like in 2011 or 2012, somewhere in there.
No, I don't recall that. I don't remember.
That's when I got mad. That's when I sat there, and I mean, I got mad. And I'm like, you know what? This government is not right. When a man has no money, living out in the streets or whatever, in the woods, wherever, he didn't have a home. That joker's trying to catch a fish so he can eat, and they arrest him. I mean, come on.
Yeah, because every fish, every blade of grass, every tree is owned by them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. But life.
Oh, you know what else?
Go ahead.
If you got a canoe or any kind of small anything that'll float and you put it on a lake, it better have a registration number on it.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
I know.
A canoe.
I know.
You gotta be kidding me.
It's money. They taxation on everything without representation. They say they do. Well, I don't hear the people vote on this. A lot of this crap, they just put it in there.
Yeah.
But it's okay. We're happy with it. You know, let me go ahead and sit back and enjoy my programs on TV, and let me play with my PlayStations and that. And mom and pop are coming over tonight. We're going to have a big dinner and stuff and everything. And we're not going to talk about what's really going on. We're just going to talk about happy gay stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
We got to bring it to the food table, folks. And we put the phones aside and actually sit down and discuss these issues and really figure out what to do. But we can't do it as long as the government that we have at this point right now controls everything. You know, it's similar to what's happening in Venezuela when they have the two different guys saying they're president. Oh, yeah. You know, and the people want this other guy, but the other one is in control right now. And he has the backing of the rich that are coming in and throwing him money and stuff and everything. And then the military comes in and they're throwing money at him and weapons and everything else. See, so it's a whole game that we're having to deal with in that. And the United States is doing exactly the same thing. But the only difference is we've got, 20 people that are trying to run for president right now?
I don't know, man. It's a bunch of them.
And they're confused. The Democrats themselves that I was listening to when they came out, They're confused on how to get things taken care of. One Democrat says one thing, one other one says let's do it this way, another one's saying this way. Why aren't they coming together and say, okay, let's pick somebody from the group here, and let's actually push the right way of doing this, you know? But they're so blind to the money going in their pocket and the exposure of their life and making them look like they're heroes and my constituents are following me and doing all this. No, we don't want people to blindly follow somebody. We want people that are actually know what the truth is and come out and say, this is the problems that we have, and we can resolve these problems and take care of them only if we come together as a nation, as one. And that's what the platform that we're running on with John Boy. We are one.
Exactly.
But, you know, it's crazy. Yeah, Bamboo's right. Thank God we did not invade Venezuela. Too many people saw through the lies. We had no right to tell them how to live. And we don't have a right to tell anybody how to live their life.
Exactly.
We can't, but they're trying to tell us how to live our lives here.
Well, we're trying to turn the whole world into America.
Exactly. We're not trying to do that. That's not what John Boy and I want. We're not trying to turn every country into the United States. We want the citizens of the United States to be taken care of first before we send any money out to any other countries to assist them on their bullshit, build up their military or whatever the situation may be.
Yeah. That's the next thing I do is stop all the money going out.
That money can be used for the people of the United States. We don't need the size of government that we have. We don't need people watching people, and our government watching each other.
What I don't get is we give out all this money to all these other countries. It keeps going up and up and up. You know, there's a time when you're broke, you gotta stop putting that money out there.
You betcha. It's like anybody else that has a budget on their home knows you don't put all your money out there because you needed to take care of your own family. Well, that's exactly what the government's doing. It's taking all of our money and giving it to them and taking the rest of the money and putting it in government and not giving anything back to the people. That's what's happening.
I saw a cartoon of the government, and they're I forgot what it was, but it's something like they're taking the water out of the shallow end of the pool and pouring it in the deep end of the pool to try to fill it up. I'm like, yeah.
Left hand don't know what the right hand's doing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's the reality of what we're living in. We're living in a world where the people don't have a clue what's happening. The government is expanding exponentially without the consent of the people. And they are killing and hurting the people in the United States because of their own selfishness, their own greed, and their own reasons. I don't know what some of their other reasons are, but they are destroying our country. Now, I'm not only talking about the world, but I'm talking about our country.
They are destroying our morals.
Everything.
Our morals, man. I mean,
parents used to be able to take care of the problems that the kids were causing at school, the problems at school. Now you can't solve the problem. You have to have an intervention with a counselor or the principal to see if we can work through the problem. Well, it's not a problem if you take the kid and you take him home and spank his ass and tell him you don't do that shit again. It's that simple. But people say, oh, no, we can't spank children. It's abuse. What do you mean it's abuse? If you believe in what the Holy Bible says, what does he say about sparing the rod? Okay.
Spoil the child.
So if you proclaim to be Christians, you would be doing the stuff that God asked you to do. He told us to put food aside for rainy days, for shit that's going to happen. You know, I mean, every part of life is in there, but nobody wants to do it. That was a good way of doing it. And that's how we got our country started, right, John Boy? It was because of religious persecutions, and we didn't want to be controlled by a government, so we came here. And yet we started doing the exactly same thing.
Yeah, started taxing. You know, we had the Boston Tea Party because of the taxation.
Right.
Well, look what our own government's done to us now.
Yeah.
It's worse than what England was trying to do.
It's millions of times worse, because there is not any control over this government anymore. And that's why we need to stand up and we need to organize. That's why we need to do something and at least say something. At least 5 or 6 of us get out there, make some videos, push John's point of views in regards to what's going on in our country and say we need to make a change. We need a president. We need somebody that we can trust and put up there. We need to have somebody that's going to hear us, listen to us, not listen to us and then walk off and go off and do his own thing. No, we don't want that, because we want somebody that's going to stay there and is going to listen to what's going on and actually pay attention and actually resolve problems without being an ass about it and treating us with disrespect. And we're the ones that are paying them, guys. That's the part that is so strange, is we're paying them. We're actually giving them money to control us.
We're not really giving them that money. They're taking it.
Right, but do you see the irony in it?
Yeah.
They're taking the money and they're using it against us. And that's what's going on. And we're allowing them to do it. And people are so blind to that. They say, oh, the government needs it because they take care of us. Well, what are they taking care of? How many people in the United States are suffering for no food in their belly? How many people have to make a choice between insurance, medical insurance, and food on the table? How many people are suffering needlessly because our government is sending all the money and everywhere else and helping everybody else on their problems instead of minding their own business and taking care of what needs to be taken care of here? That's what we want. We want free. We want freedom from government control, and they're taking and our Constitution is gone almost, guys. It's laying there. It's dead on its last gurgle, saying "Help me."
Yeah.
And we're not doing nothing about it. We say by going and we vote. Well, voting's good, but what are you voting on?
There's nobody to vote for, man.
There's not.
Except for me.
That's right. That's right. Because you're wanting the same things that the rest of us want. We want our freedom. We want our country back. We don't want to be controlled by our government. We want small government the way it's supposed to be, so it doesn't have all this money to do whatever they want to do and put money out in areas that we don't want it at. We need to take care of the people here in the United States first, medically, physically, spiritually. We need to take care of them first.
And I want to be the voice of the people.
That's it.
I want to hear what the people say and do what they want done.
Right.
You know, I'm tired of this. You can't build a wall to keep people out. Well, there's laws that let them in, let them follow those laws in.
Right.
And they won't, you know.
It's simple, John. It's called the law of the land.
Well, you got to build a wall for the ones that aren't going to follow the law.
Exactly.
And those are the ones you don't need in here anyhow if they're not going to follow the law in the first.
Hey, how long have we had the at the southern border? How long have we been suffering with the drug trade coming across into the United States? How far back can we remember this, John Boy? I can remember it all the way back as far as I can remember. You know, It's been going on and before that.
But back then, it was only back in the old days. It was just weed.
Right. But now it's stuff that's coming in. It's not only the drugs that are coming in, it's terrorist cells that are coming in. It's people that are coming into our country that are attacking the people of our nation. Where does it stop? When are we gonna say it's enough is enough?
Look, about 150 miles northeast of me is a training camp for the ISIS, and no Americans are allowed in that place.
Right. We have one up here in the mountains of Colorado.
Yeah. Is that not messed up?
Yeah.
How is that possible? But yeah, if we tried to do something like that, man, we'd be Waco.
Because they're following the law. That's what they're saying. They're following the law. And as long as they're following the law, we can't go in there and do anything.
Well, that's crazy.
But they
Look what
are.
they did to Waco.
They're training. They're training the people how to fight American citizens. They're training people how to make bombs. They're training people how to be snipers. They're training people how to protect themselves and fight.
Guaranteed, the CIA is the one teaching them.
I bet you they are, and I bet you they're making money on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the poppy fields. You know.
Hey, think about this.
Why are we in Afghanistan for 18 years?
True. Well, we're protecting the poppy fields. But think about this. You know all the missing Americans that come up missing?
No.
What if they're actually live targets for these training camps where they do live drills? Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
See, and that's the thing is we don't know what's happening in our country. We have to try to guess what's happening and try to come up with an answer and into a real reality, you know, not their fabricated reality, but a real reality of what's happening. And we got to get to the nitty gritty on it. We can't.
You ever heard of this?
If we can't be safe in our own country, then I don't know. Anime says the School of Assassins. Question mark. You heard of that? The School of Assassins? I've never heard of that anime.
I haven't either.
Never. Enlighten us on that, please. Because good information is always hard to come by.
Bamboo, what do you mean
right now?
Bamboo's asking me if I know anything about the missing information. 411.
411.
I don't have a clue what words.
I don't know what he means either. 411 is information. I know all that. What that means, but what information? See, but we're missing all of the information. Yeah, we do.
We know we're the bad guys.
Yeah, you know, we know what's going on. We're not stupid, you know, and anime's right on this stuff, you know, and so are everybody else that's out there on this chat. They know what's happening. But the problem is there's no organization. We've got to stop it before it's too late. And the only way to do that, John Boy, is we have to stand up to them. And even doing what you and I are doing right now and trying to push you into the realm of being president, we've got to do something. It may be crazy to you guys out there. And I think it's crazy sometimes myself when I think about it. But the thing is who do we have? Who do we have that we can even trust to go out there and fight for us? Do you know anybody? I don't. Nope. But we have somebody here now that's willing to stand up and try to fight with us so that we can try to make some kind of change. And
I promise y'all, I do not want to do this.
Right.
But I have to because it's not I'm being selfish, but I'm tired of my rights and everybody else's rights being stepped on.
That's why I'm doing it. That's exactly why I'm doing it. And I think everybody out there is feeling the same thing as well, too. They're tired of it.
Actually, to be honest with you, it's probably my rights being stepped on the most that has bothered me to where I've tried to figure out how can I approach this problem, and John Boy for president come up. Okay, I'm like, okay, this is how I can do it. It's around election time. And I mean, I'll run. I'll be president. If I get voted in, I will be a president.
Cool. And if you start messing up, we'll be the first ones to come at you and tell you.
Do it.
So
impeach me.
So that's what we're saying. This is not a game, guys. I'm not playing the kind of game with you guys. I'm not trying to manipulate you in any which way or anything. I'm telling you straight out from my own heart that we have somebody here right now that's willing to make a stand and run for president, and I'm willing to back him in any way I can by doing videos or whatever I can do to help him achieve that so that we have a word in our own government. But so think about it. I'm not saying make a rash decision on anything, because I want you to be realistic about the decisions that you make, because you definitely have to make sure your family's taken care of as well. You got to make sure that everything, all your ducks are in line in that as well too, and your emotions are ready to deal with something like this. Because if we do something like this and we do get this going, there's going to be some problems that we're going to have to deal with. And a lot of it's going to be a lot of negativity. And it doesn't matter if John Boy has things bad in his past or anything like that. It's not a matter of anything like that. This is a matter of what's right. That's what it comes down to. None of us are perfect. We've all done stuff that is crazy and bullshit and everything else when we're younger and when we're older as well. We have to get
I don't have a criminal record. I've never stole or nothing like that.
That's good.
I've got a bad driving record though.
So you will have to sit in the back of the limousine. You would have to.
Yeah. No, I got license and all. Believe it or not, I do have license, even though I don't need them.
I know. I'm just joking. I'm just joking on that. But the thing is they know it out there. Everyone that's out there listening to this, and I hope that, we pass this out and we let everybody else know about this too, that this is not a joke. This is not a game that John Boy and I are playing right now. This is reality, guys. So if you're going to want to face reality, come face it with us, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to push this issue as much as we can. I'm gonna get that petition that Jenny B was talking about and start doing it. And get some videos and start making some videos and start pushing this agenda so that we can get a voice out there, so we can get to other people that are out there. How many of us are out here doing this? I see tons and tons and tons of us online talking about the same stuff. What happens if we get all these people together?
That's what we got to do. That's what needs to be done.
That's what I'm saying. And we can do it if we work together. There's no me, there's no John Boy, there's no you. It's us as one. That's how we have to see it.
Exactly. And whatever movement gets going, I don't care who's got it going. We all need to join it. You know what I mean? I'm just a little spur, maybe, or maybe I'm the only one. But you said there's others out there. But I don't care if somebody else is leading the charge. If we can get our group together and get it going, or fall into another group that's got it going, we just need to keep getting the group bigger for our freedoms. That's all.
That's all we got to do. We just got to keep pushing the issues. And then we got to come on. Then we got to get together with John Boy. We got to talk to John Boy on the different issues in that. And then we got to set up what John Boy's what he's going to be fighting against. So that he knows exactly how we feel about the situations and that. So when he does talk to people and that, he knows what his platform is and what he's talking about. So we got to work with John Boy, work together so that we can come together to get all the information that we need to work as a group. There's tons of people out there. There's people that can write. There's people out there that can do photography. There's people out there that can build things. There's people out there that can drive. I mean, there's people that can do like pamphlets. There's tons of people out here that have skills that we can use to help get this going. But it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys to make that decision if you want to be part of this and work with us so that we can try to make some kind of change. Because I can't vote for these guys. I just can't. My conscience will not allow me to do it anymore. I just can't do it. Because every time we vote, we get stepped on more. Every time we vote, we get stepped on again. Every time we vote, something gets taken from us. Every time we vote, another thing's taken from us. But we're not the ones that are getting it taken. We're not the ones that are doing it. It's our own government.
Well, guess who's made really the first move on the John Boy thing? Squash. He got T-shirts made up, remember?
Yeah, exactly.
He's the first one to do that.
And that's the thing we can do. That's the thing we can do. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put $100 in right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm going to put $100 in right now. And I got it right now. $100. I have it. I've been saving up so I can get me a nice camera for doing this streaming, but I'm going to wait on that. And I'm going to take $100 out of it. And no, because this is important for us to do, John Boy. That old saying is true. Put your money where your what is it? Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start off and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to pledge to $100 immediately, so that we can start to get maybe some T-shirts, maybe get some pamphlets, get some information, things that we need to have in that. So it's not difficult, guys. It's not difficult to even raise a couple of dollars in it. And every penny and everything will be accounted for. We're not going to, John Boy's not going to take the money. I'm not going to take the money. One of you guys are going to do it. And we'll find somebody out there that knows what they're doing to make sure everything is set right.
Man, I appreciate that.
So we need to do something. See, that's what I'm saying. We've got to open ourselves up to different opinions and different views from people. We've got to come together that, yeah, every man, woman, and child needs to have food, water, and a house to live in. Right? We all agree with that. But our government says, well, some people don't deserve it. So we're going to give them this welfare, and and they don't. They're the lowlifes. They're the terrible bullshit.
I didn't mean to laugh at you, but
no, but I'm serious. It's bull that the entire nation is living off the backs of others.
Oh yeah,
and there's no accountability.
I was actually laughing at what Krillborn said. Kip said,
"Yeah, it's
John
true.
Boy, you might have to show your entire face eventually." That's what I was laughing. I'm sorry, I wasn't laughing at you.
But it's, hey, that's a very possibility on that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, at the same time, we got to protect our president as well too, because there's a lot of nefarious and weird ass people out there that would
see. That's what I'm worried about. Because if I do start making start making any kind of ripples in the pond, man, do you know how bad these politicians are and who all they got working for them, and how I could just go away forever?
Yeah, but Jumbo, you're not seeing the big picture of what I'm seeing. The big picture I see is our own militia and that protecting you. You have rights just as anybody else does. I'm talking, they'll come together as well too. They'll come and all the militia, all the people of the nation will come, as if we're actually going to be doing something to help make not a dent, but a freaking gouge in our government.
Oh, well, see, I've actually been doing a lot of thinking on this, and these people up here in Washington, D.C. have got laws written into where it's hard to get them out of their positions.
It is.
I'd like to go in there and just clean out everybody. I mean, everybody, because we don't need all those people.
We don't.
We don't need
We don't need a secretary having an assistant and that assistant having another assistant for that.
Yeah.
We don't need that. We don't need that crap. But that's what it is. Everything is set up that way for them to make more money. And dude, I said it before. The government has more people with them employed than the public sector.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it. And as long as the government continues to take care of these people that are in government, it's going to continue. We've got to stop it. We got to stop the money being spent on bullshit things, about the frog dying from what this, come on, save the prairie dog. It's too close to that highway. Come on. We're talking about human beings and what we need to do to take care of each other. Yes, animals and that on the earth are very important, plants and all that. But this is part of what's happening. We've got to go at them, and we've got to go at them full force. But we can't do it unless we work together, guys. So if you're willing to do it, I am too. And like I said, I'll put my money where it is, right in my mouth. And I got it right there. I've been saving it because I wanted to get. That's why I said the other day when I came on, and I said I'm buying a new camera. I can't wait. I'm going to get me a new camera. Well, I'm not going to get it right now. I'll wait. So that's. But we all have.
Put it on.
But we all have to do. We all have to do something, John Boy. And see, and that's what I'm saying. If nobody else wants to start doing something, then I figure, hey, if I'm out here and I'm preaching to the world, telling them what I think about the situation, and I don't do something about it, then I'm just as bad as them.
Yeah, I got you.
And I'm not going to be like them. I can't be like them. I'm tired. I'm an old man. I'm 58 years old. I don't know how much longer I got to live. Who knows? Nobody does. But at least we can try to make some kind of change, guys. Something that's going to be beneficial for the people of the United States, and not for the government, but for the people.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's a hard situation, hard to deal with. But hey, John Boy, hey, I gotta let you know it's getting late.
Yeah.
I haven't even taken out the dogs yet. I got to get them up and get them out of here before it gets too late. And I got to get back in the morning and work in that crazy apartment that I got going on next door. I'm about,
man,
about done with it.
Man, I appreciate it. I enjoyed it.
No problem. But, you know, like I said, John Boy, anytime you want me on it, if I can do it, I will be here.
Okay.
Okay, I will come in that. But, you know, I like having discussions like this. This is the best way for us to deal with issues and things that's going on.
Right.
And this is how we do it. You know, it's nice that we come together and we can all joke and have fun, you know, and have a big panel on that and laugh and have a great time with Pickle the other day. That was so cool. I was cracking up. He just couldn't stop laughing. He just couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't handle it myself. But it's good that we can do that. And see, that's what we need. We need people to come together where we can laugh together, we can cry together, we can stand with each other, you know, and fight this fight, the good fight. Not a bullshit fight, but a good fight where we actually all believe that we can do something, you know, and that's what we need to do. I know I keep saying it and I keep preaching it, guys, but this is how I feel. And I know you guys feel the same way. And this platform that we're doing right now, and with John Boy here saying, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. That's it. We don't have to put up with this stuff no more. We can come together. If those people, if that 21-year-old boy can come up with over 1 million people, a boy can come up with 1 million people to help his people in Hong Kong, why can't we do that here in the United States? Why can't we? We got men. We don't got children. But that guy back there, that 20-some-year-old kid, is more of a man than a lot of us out here in our own country. For what he did. And that's why I'm saying we can make a change here as well too. It'll be a grassroots situation. It most definitely will be. But damn it, we got to do something. We can't sit here and just preach on it day in and day out. We've got to make a stand. We've got to show that there is a better way to live other than what the government is telling us how to live. We need fresh water. We need no GMO foods. You know, we need people to be taken care of that are living out of the streets, or mothers that don't have kids, and that we still need to take care of them and help them, so that everybody can come together and everybody can work as one. But as long as we do what we're doing right now and not doing anything and taking a step, then we're showing the government right now by doing just this video and nothing becomes of it, shows them they're all foolish crap. They're going to do nothing because we have showed that they can't do anything. But we can. We can make a difference in our own country. We can make a difference on YouTube.
We have to. This is our last chance. Last stand.
It is. It is. It is. It's our last stand for anything that's going on in our own country. When they put facial recognition in the Ring doorbell so that they can track people, you know, see where they're going and what they're doing, and cameras and AI, and you know, is watching us. Where do you think the Chinese people got all the freaking camera and all that technology from, people? They got it from us. They stole our technology. They're using it against us. We had it already. So right now, it's just all underground. Our government is saying it's okay. It's just going to do this. We're going to make things better. We're going to speed up your internet. You're going to, you know. But they ain't telling you the sicknesses that come along with that as well. People getting close to that kind of stuff. All the crap that we're going to have to deal with. It's nuts. So again, guys, I just ask each and every one of you, please think about what I just said and what John Boy is saying. And if you're willing to stand with me and John Boy, get in touch with John Boy and me, and we'll be happy to work with you. We'll work our asses off to figure out what we can do. So we all talk a good game out there. We all say and we all know how bad it is and how terrible things are in that. But are we gonna take that first step? Are we gonna say we can't do this no more? My family's too important to me, you know, and that's what it comes down to. Your family, you know. So please consider us and let us know what you think. You know, it may sound crazy to you, but that's how I feel, and that's how John Boy feels right now. So let us know, and I appreciate it. And like I said, John Boy, I gotta go, and I thank you, man, for allowing me to come on your channel and talk with your watch your chat and hear what these people are saying in chat as well, and having good conversation with you. And I say God bless each and every one of you. Look out for your family. Take care of them, because they're the most important thing. Don't let them take your rights, guys. Don't let them. You're important, and your children are important. You want your kids to grow up and live in a nice, clean world, then you got to fight for it. And that's what we're doing. We're going to fight. So, bye, my friends.
Thank
As
you,
always. Oh, no problem. And make sure you guys hit the thumbs up on your way out or on your way in still. Make sure, share the video, download it, whatever you got to do, but get it out there. And that would help us out a lot. I appreciate it. Talk to you later, John Boy. Have a good night, guys. Take care. I got to take the dogs out.
Okay, I appreciate you being there.
All right, man. All right, take care, folks. Bye, guys, in chat. See you all later.
All right, y'all. We had People's Last Stand up in here. Oh, that's still over my face. Ooh, there's a lot of y'all showed up, a lot of new folks. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody, but sometimes we get discussed, and I don't like to break the discussion up. And I apologize. But Kip, I appreciate you being in here. I don't know why I've been calling you Killborn, and it's Krillbone, right? I don't know. I can't. I'll just call you Kip. But I appreciate you being Save Center and Bamboo. Appreciate it. Anime. Appreciate it. Save Center. Let's see. We got Troop for Angels. Peeps. Open your eyes, peeps. Man, I thought you were going to come up here, peeps. Hodgepodge. Hodgepodge still in here. Moral Compass. How you doing? Appreciate you showing up. I'm going to end this thing in a few minutes. I'm just trying to go through here and tell everybody thank you and hi. And that way, thank you for coming by. I appreciate everybody coming through. Man, I'm sound a little tired, don't I? But yeah, we got to do something about how this country is being done, how we're being done. Well, thank you, Anime. But yeah, y'all, I do appreciate y'all showing up and everything. And I'm going to go ahead and probably have to end this myself due to the fact I need to go to bed. Dadgum, I put my dog up, didn't I? She's still sitting out here. Huh. Well, good Ouija. I didn't even know she was still in there. My goodness. But y'all, hey, Roots, I appreciate you being in here. Hodgepodge, I appreciate you showing up. Let's see here. Anime, I hope you enjoy not being blue. I see that you said you couldn't post links, so see, you're at a disadvantage now. You want to be blue again? Well, thank you, Jenny B. I do not write scripts or anything like that. I have an idea and I come on, and I know it's the beginning of this is called AI is trying to kill me, but I think it is. But I had People's Last Stand in here because I wanted to try to find out, because he's about people's rights. And I was trying to see what he thought about how the police were talking about, what they can and can't do about what my neighbors are doing. I'm just basically trying to get this all on record. That way there's proof that this stuff is going on and I'm not making it up. It's Return of the Cat Eye, or Return of Cat Eyes. How you doing? You just got home and I'm just shutting it down. I'm sorry. And I've missed a few of your lives too, and I apologize. Man, it's crazy. Southern Bells. I can't end this now. I got people coming in. Peeps, where you at? Oh man, I'm starting to get a headache for some reason. I started getting a headache about an hour ago, man. I don't know why. I don't hardly ever get headaches. Excuse me, y'all. But yeah. I think it was pretty good live. We covered a lot of stuff. Trying to, get people to understand what's really going on, I mean, we're all like that gum frogs in a pot of water that's starting to boil. We never did feel it. Oh, there's Kimberly. Well, thank you, Kimberly. I thought I read that as Kimberly first, then I saw all the R's and I was like, oh, that's Kimberly. But yeah, thank you for coming by. And Cat's Eyes, I'm glad you showed up. I was fixing to shut this thing down though. Enlighten, glad to see you're still in here. But y'all, I do appreciate it. I am gonna call it a night here. I didn't realize I still had my dog loose in here. She was quiet. Oh well, I get. Peeps, look, we'll do something in the. Well, I'm gonna go to Oakland in the morning. I'm really kind of tired, peeps. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and just call it a day. Man, y'all are. Let's see. Well, I think interesting things. But yeah, all I'm trying to do, John Boy for president. I mean, if I become president, I'll be the president. But I'm just trying to open up eyes so people will see what's wrong. And, what if we get enough people to back me and, I can get up in there and make some real changes. They'll probably take me out in the first week, though. But that's all right. Well, thank you, Southern Belle. Yeah. I don't know, Enlighten. You know anybody to raid? I don't know anybody. Let me see here. I can't figure out where I'm at on this thing. Dadgummit. Let me live real quick. I'll put a link up. It'll be the first John Boy raid ever. But since we got all these people in here, if anybody else wants to go somewhere, let me see. I'm trying to get over here on YouTube and see who's live. See, Outlaw is live. Thank you, interesting things. Hey, Shanahone's live right now. It says playing music, my husband and me taking turns. Huh. I'm gonna go. Well, I like Shanna. I don't know where Ozzy's stream is. Oh, this thing's gonna act like this. And it takes me a minute, y'all. Whose is that, Enlighten? Is that Ozzy's? Oh, okay. All right, y'all. Y'all go raid Ozzy. And I appreciate everybody showing up. And y'all have a good night. All right. I appreciate it. And remember, John Boy for president. I better click on this link before I get out of here because I won't be able to get back. Oh, I can get over there. Okay, that's all right, y'all. I appreciate it, and y'all have a good night, and God bless every one of y'all. Good night.